You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowing like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look me better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper than again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of What If Naruto Enters Helluva Boss? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Inside the office. Oh, for F's sake. Blitzo yelled, seeing that Verosika's office was across from IMP's office. They didn't have any on the top floor, but since it's so close to your workplace, Foxy, I may permanently rent this one for my tour schedules, Verosika said, because she knew it would absolutely PSS off Blitzo if she stopped by every day she was in the office and not on tour to see her Foxy lover and mess with her ex. So what's your next concert? Naruto asked curiously. Well, I have a spring break gig topside tomorrow. You all wanna come? Verosika asked Naruto and the girls. Sure, Millie said. Sounds wonderful. Mayberry said. Sounds like fun, babe, Naruto said. Sounds fun, mama, Loona said with a smirk, while Blitzo glared and growled at Verosika for corrupting his daughter. Naruto already did that and he didn't need his ex to do it as well. Naruto smiled at this but felt a pulse on one of his seals and looked at his forearm and scowled. What's up? Millie asked. Problem. Charlie is calling. Gotta go, guys, see you soon, Naruto said before he was gone in a flash of light. That's cool. And hot, Verosika said. If it's an attack on that hotel we can watch on TV, Blitzo said. Can't believe I'm saying this, but good idea, Blitzo, Verosika said. Who wants to watch on my office's 4K plasma screen TV? She asked. Everyone nodded and all followed Verosika. You too, Blitzo, but hands in pockets, Verosika said. Oh, come on, B. I never stole anything. You left me in a motel room, stole my car, ran 3 rings to Wrath, and maxed out my credit cards on shitty horse riding lessons, she told him. Oh, for F's sake, it was one time. Blitzo yelled after he finished saying what Verosika said with her. It never should have happened the first time, Verosika said simply. God damn it, where you will not let that go. Hey, I'm only aware for Foxy now, so watch it. A succubus that is a one-man woman. Ha. Blitzo said. Oh, trust me, Blitzo. After all he's done with me, I don't need any other men, she said and thinking about all Naruto did to her. I think I just threw up a little, Blitzo said as he went inside Verosika's office to watch the news. Vortex, if he tries anything, tear him apart, Verosika whispered to her hellhound bodyguard, with extra teeth, she said with a vindictive grin as he nodded. Blitz saw the look in the hellhound's eyes and saw he actually may have done it, and considering he worked for Verosika, it was entirely possible the hellhound had certain parts either touched or he ripped off other people. With Naruto. Alright, what's going on? Naruto asked as he appeared right in front of Charlie and crew, barring Alastor. That, Vaggie said, pointing at a gang of demons approaching the hotel. All armed to the teeth. I guess Valentino has more goons than I thought. Naruto said to himself before he steeled his face and headed for the doors to the hotel entrance. Well, look at this, they have a guard dog. One of the demons said as Naruto descended the staircase. You know, I consider myself a tolerant person compared to most others in hell. But for you lot who come bearing arms to attack the princess, I'll make examples of you and send your ashes back to your employer. So here's your one and only chance. Leave and you live. Stay and you will be erased. Make your choice before I make it for you, Naruto told them. We aren't scared of you. Dog boy. Let's kill this, Uga, the demon yelled as Naruto was instantly in front of him, his claw through his chest. You should have been scared and you should have never called me that. Naruto growled, his patience now officially gone and ready to rip these fools to pieces. There's 1,000 of us, you can't kill us all, one of them yelled as he swung a crowbar at Naruto's head. 1,000 huh, Naruto said as he grabbed the crowbar mid-swing. Hate to tell you all this, but, he started to say as he impaled the demon with his own crowbar through his eye. You should have brought more, as 0x1000 is still 0, and with that Naruto began his slaughter of each and every single demon thug there. Unholy CRP. He's tearing through them like a blender. Angel Dust yelled from the window, watching the BLD splatter along the ground. I should have called Cherry Bomb to watch this with, he said. Well, there's a news chopper, so she will probably see this, Husker said as he took a swig of a bottle of cheap booze. Charlie and Vaggy could only silently watch the sight in awe and fear. Naruto had a massive imp by the throat. Why do you care what happens to this hotel? The imp choked out. Because I believe in Charlie's cause, and if you and your boss are in the way, then I'll remove as many of you as it takes, Naruto growled before he snapped his neck and threw him through a nearby building. Charlie and Vaggy's eyes widened at this. The other demons watched in horror as Naruto was massacring them effortlessly. Are you all scared? What happened to all that bravado? Naruto asked with a grin. We didn't know another overlord had this place under its protection. Please let us go, an imp yelled while the others nodded in terror. I suppose I could see letting you fools go if you spread the word to the rest of your kind. What happened to your friends here? Naruto said as he stomped on an imp's head, splattering it. Now then, who wants to stay and who wants to run? Naruto asked demonically. I'm out. Several imps yelled before they all ran. I wonder if I erase enough of you all, will there even be a purge this year? He questioned with a malicious grin, hoping to terrify the demons here. He took several steps forward before unleashing his full killer intent and chakra, but aimed away from the hotel so they knew exactly how they were. Come on folks, who's next? The remaining imps all ran screaming in terror, leaving an assortment of weapons and even holy weapons. Naruto calmed down and sighed, punk ass, he growled as he saw what looked like a holy sword. He approached it and picked it up and practiced a few swings. A nice sword, think I'll keep it, he said before looking up at the news chopper. He walked forward into the news chopper spotlight and bellowed, this hotel is under my protection. If anyone want to try anything, he said before stabbing the sword into an imp corpse in front of him, the corpse being set ablaze, immediately charring, and soon the bones of what was left crumbled, and it made everyone scared as they knew the flames were powerful as residents from hell were flame retardant. I welcome them to enter my playground, he said as he sheathed the sword and walked back to the hotel, covered in the BLD and ash of his fallen prey. Royal Palace. Interesting, this boy actually has the power of an overlord. Perhaps even stronger, Lucifer said, watching a live feed, and sounded both interested and pleased. He protected my daughter, so I guess he's entitled to some gratitude, he said to himself as Naruto was acting well within the lines of hell and hadn't done anything to piss him off. And he only did all that to help our little girl, a female voice sounded from a throne next to him. This was his wife and Queen Lilith. Indeed, not a lot of demons actually show her respect since her escapade on the news, Lucifer said. He seems like a nice young man, Lilith said with a smile as a plan formed in her mind. Which is rare for hell. He has my curiosity, Lucifer said as he looked at his wife. What is on your mind? He asked his wife. Well, Charlie needs a betrothed, Lilith said with a smile. Haha. Splendid idea, love. Lucifer cackled as he loved his lover's manipulative mind. The next day, Naruto was going into the kitchen to get some breakfast and coffee. Mail call. Millie yelled as she came in with some mail. Hellhound Monthly, she said. Thanks, Loona said, taking her magazine. Succubus Monthly, Millie said. Thank you, Veronica said with a smile. Millie nodded as she looked at a black envelope that had Naruto's name on it, and she paled when she saw the crest of the royal family. Naruto, she yelled in a panic. It wasn't me. It was Blitzo. He shouted out of habit. You got a letter from the royal family and it has your name on it. Millie yelled. Mayberry choked on her food at this. Verosika and Luna both dropped their magazines in shock and fear. Oh Satan! What did you do, Alpha? Luna asked, terrified. Naruto took the letter and opened it and started to read it. After a few moments he paled. What is it? Verosika asked, terrified. The king of hell gave me the rank of overlord, Naruto said. That's all? Millie asked, calming down. Naruto shook his head at this. The king made me Charlie's fiancé, he said. The girls gained shocked looks at this. With Charlie. It was a regular day at the hazbinhotel. Well, it was until. I'm gonna kill him. Vaggie screamed while hoisting her spear aggressively. Ready to strike at any moment. Charlie was looking at the letter she got from her father with a look of shock. Haha, this is F gold. Angel shouted, laughing. Vaggie threw her spear at Angel, nailing him in the shoulder. Ow. The F? This isn't the kind of impalement I like. He shouted in pain. The next one is going between your legs, you pennaho. Vaggie yelled as she pulled out a battle axe from nowhere. When did we get a battle axe? Husker asked to the small maid demon Nifty and Charlie. Before Charlie could answer, her phone rang and she looked and saw it was Naruto. Why yes. She answered, a little nervous. Hey, so you got the letter T too, huh? He asked, nervous himself. Is that perv on the phone? Vaggie yelled, swinging the axe like a lunatic. Hey, why don't you take that to where he works, you psycho? Husker asked, dodging the axe swings of the enraged woman. Good idea, I'm gonna go hunting. Vaggie yelled as she left the hotel. Charlie frowned at this. Yes, I did, but dash, she started to say but trailed off. Let me guess, Vaggie wants me dead? He asked. Yes, she's heading for IMP right now, Charlie said. Oh, thanks Satan, I'm at home, Naruto sighed in relief. What if Blitz sends her to us? Millie asked. F. Naruto shouted, knowing he totally would in order to save his own ass. Look Charlie, we can handle this later after I find a place to lay low. I'll still show up in an emergency though, Naruto told her, a little panicked. Okay, stay safe, Charlie said as they hung up. Charlie then turned and looked at Angel, Husker, and Nifty, teasing looks on their faces. What? She asked. Stay safe? Angel asked with a smirk. You like him, Husker told her with a smirk. Ooh, can I be the flower girl at the wedding? Nifty excitedly asked. Charlie blushed at this but shook her head. I do not. She yelled in denial. With Naruto. Okay, we need to pack up and get the hell out of here, Naruto said to his girls. On it, I'll start packing, Mayberry said as she left to her room. You should call Blitz and give him a heads up to avoid the office being broken into, Millie said. As funny as it would be, she's right, Verosika said, agreeing with the imp woman. We gonna crash with Stolas? Luna asked. What are you, nuts? Vaya is probably gonna be worse than Vaggie. Not to mention Stolas' harpy titch of a wife trying to murder us, Naruto said with a shiver at Octavia's reaction. Oh, I'm sure she's not that bad, Verosika said. With Octavia. Ahag. A shout of rage came from Stola's manor. And now my owlet. I'm sure we can find a solution that doesn't involve you destroying the manor, Stola said nervously and terrified. I'll kill her. Octavia shouted as she threw the dining room table through a window to the outside in her rage. Huh, maybe he is worthy of our daughter, Stella said as she read the newspaper that had the story of Naruto being made an overlord and betrothed to Charlie. DMN right he is. Octavia shouted as she threw an imp butler out a different window in her anger. He's still just trash with his upbringing, Stella said as she folded the newspaper. You're dead, you harpy hag. Octavia screamed as her eyes glowed. Oh dear, it seems she's unlocking her powers, Stola said, seeing this. Well, time to take a fishing trip. Stola said as he spawned an ornate fishing hat and fancy fishing poles and hightailed it out of there. Especially before his wife could insult him on his plebeian task he's using for a lie to leave. With Blitzo. Blitzo was at his desk drinking some coffee and reading the paper and he saw the front page and spat out his coffee. Oh, for F's sake. He yelled out, is he gonna go for the F queen herself too? He shouted. His phone rang and he saw it was Naruto. Hey man, where I saw the paper, you really like making problems, huh? He asked. This SHT better drum up some business DMN it. Haha Blitz, look, I'm calling to warn you to get out of the office, Naruto warned him. Why the F would I do that? Blitzo asked before his office door was burst open by Vaggie, who had just chopped it down with her axe. Where the F is that whiskered man, where? Vaggie screamed. That's why, good luck boss, Naruto said before he hung up. Oh, would you look at the time? Time for my annual fishing trip, Blitzo said as he ran to grab a fishing hat and poles to try and get away from the enraged woman with a battle axe. Naruto's penthouse. Okay, everyone, pack only the essentials. We have 2 crazy bees on the way, so move. Verosika yelled to everyone, clapping her hands. If we're only bringing essentials, then why do you have an entire crate of shampoo? Millie asked the pop star. 1 bottle made sense as they could buy more. But a crate full. SEC makes me sweat, especially with Foxy, Verosika said with a smile. I don't want to leave most of my stuff behind, Luna said, pouting as she had a full duffel bag. I can buy everything you need when we get to a safe place, my pet. Now go pack since Octavia is on the way, so I think this whole thing made her unlock her powers, Naruto said as he threw a suitcase to the living room from his room. There better not be any instant ramen in that suitcase, mister. Valerie yelled as she rolled a travel bag on wheels into the living room. I make no promises, Val, Naruto said as he threw another suitcase out of his room. Verosika was looking through Luna's bag and smirked. A dog collar and chain leash? She asked. Luna blushed. I couldn't buy my new one yet, she mumbled. Well, my pet has needs, Naruto said with a chuckle. Okay, I'm all set, Millie said as she put another bag. Valerie nodded at this as she also was done. Do we actually have a place to stay? Valerie asked. I have several places in multiple rings of hell, so don't worry, it will take a while for those 2 to track us down, Verosika said as she had several houses. Which ring are we heading to? Naruto asked. Verosika smirked at this. Not the lust ring, they both know I date you and they will head there first, Naruto said. Yes, but I have a new house I purchased there. One the paparazzi doesn't know about yet. Verosika said. Fine, but if we get busted you owe me, Naruto said with a sigh as he sealed up all their luggage in a seal on his wrist. Got it, just name the hole you want to ruin and where if we get caught, Verosika said. Guys? Luna said as she looked out the window and down to the floor below. Naruto looked outside and saw Vaggie was chopping down the front door with her battle axe with Blitzo tied up near her. SHT. Naruto exclaimed. They are in there, I swear. Blitzo yelled as he struggled to get loose from the ropes. Luna, when this gets over I'm FU and Verosika on his desk and sending him the video. Naruto angrily since Blitzo sold them out. Oh, we're gonna make a movie. Verosika yelled excitedly. How are we gonna get out of here? Millie asked. To the garage, I have a vehicle that can get us out of here in style, Naruto said as they headed for the elevator. What vehicle? I only saw your car and several kick-ass motorcycles. Verosika asked, confused. I bought something on a whim and I'm sure this will get us out of here, he said as they entered the garage and saw a giant vehicle under a sheet. Whoa, Luna said, her eyes wide as Naruto removed the sheet. When and why did you buy a monster truck? Valerie asked. So I could run over other cars like a badass. Now everyone in the damn truck. Naruto yelled to his girls. Outside. Vaggie was still chopping at the front door, but she was barely making a scratch as the door was holding up really well. You sure you're a lesbo? I thought they were stronger than that, Blitzo asked. You want some of this? Vaggie roared at Blitzo, pointing her axe at him, a look of fury on her face. Shutting up now, Blitzo squeaked out, scared. Hey B, what's your problem? Octavia yelled as she arrived in a limousine. Didn't even have a driver, she just stole her dad's limo. It would explain several of the bloodstains and imp body parts on the limo. Seeing as she can't drive at all. I'm here to neuter a perv, so out of my way, goth B. Vaggie yelled. Octavia? Blitzo yelled in surprise. You here to protect that perv? Vaggie asked, an edge in her voice. I recognize you now. You're the lover of the princess. The one who just stole my man. I wonder how upset she'll be when I gift her your head. Octavia shouted angrily. Can't you just share? Blitzo asked. Shut up. Vaggie and Octavia yelled at Blitzo. Suddenly the doors to the garage exploded and an orange monster truck decorated with black flames and a fox skull hood ornament drove out. There you are, you F degenerate. Vaggie yelled, seeing Naruto in the passenger seat since Loona was driving. No one touches my alpha. Loona yelled. Well, not in a painful way, Verosika said as. Not helping honey, Naruto said, dodging Vaggie's battle axe which she threw at him as they drove off. I will find you, hijo de puta. Vaggie roared before Octavia tackled her. Oh, a spicy Latina, Verosika said as she licked her lips, recognizing the Spanish language. Do you ever calm the hell down? Valerie asked with a quirked eyebrow. B, I'm a succubus. Everything about this is CC to me, Verosika giggled. Babe, I love you, but she's trying to kill me. There is no way in heaven that me and her will ever be together like that, Naruto said with a sigh. Oh, I believe you can break through to her and get her on her knees for you, Verosika said. Babe, she hates men and thinks I'm taking who she loves away from her, Naruto tried explaining. Whatever man F her over, isn't you? You're way better than whatever assholes pissed her off. And you're not taking her lover away. She's the F princess. She can have as many lovers as you want, Verosika said. Babe, it's way worse than you think. She started to hyperventilate when I tried to touch her to help her from the ground, Naruto said with his own frown. This made the girls frown. I still think you can break through her shell, Foxy. You're too nice for hell, Verosika mumbled before dropping the subject. Well, for now my priority is to hide while both of them cool off, Naruto said. Alright, let's get to the safe house and lay low for a few days, Millie said. To the lust ring. Loona yelled as she ran over some cars, laughing in sadistic glee as she did so. Welp, she's on a power trip now, Valerie commented. Definitely Blitzo's kid, Verosika said with a laugh, as this kind of thing was normal for Blitzo back when they dated. I'm his adopted kid, DMN. Loona yelled as she ran over an imp on the sidewalk. Yeah, and I bet he still cares about you like his own, Verosika said, as even if she was still pissed at Blitzo, she knew how he was. Shut up, Loona said lowly. Looks like Mama will have to DSPLN her unruly daughter later, Verosika said with a naughty smirk. I'm surrounded by madness, Naruto said. And PP. Admitted you love it, Millie said, unable to not tease Naruto. Verosika may have been a bad influence on the girls. Or a good influence. Jury's still out on which. Later in the lust ring. Alright, everyone unload their CRP. We'll spend a week or two away from the public in hell aside from my topside concert, and when this blows over we'll celebrate at Ozzy's, Verosika said. If we all had disguises we could hide in the human world, Loona said. Yeah, let's see them find us up there, Millie said with a smile. You know I can make disguises for you, all right? Verosika said. You can. Millie and Valerie asked, surprised as they were the only two who needed disguises. Yeah, I took a night class after I took one for human disguises. This was a class on group disguises. I needed to use it for my entourage and Foxy here when we do topside concerts. Verosika explained. DMN it, I knew I should have taken that class, Loona mumbled. We can head topside if they track us down, Naruto said as they all got out of the truck and into the large house. One problem though with this place, despite the size, it's only one bedroom, so we'll have to share, Verosika smirked. Naruto chuckled at this. Well, we are all stressed from having to flee, he said with a smirk as he looked at his girls. Oh, you wanna head to Bonetown, baby? It's been a while for us and I want to see what your HRM is capable of, Verosika flirted out. What costumes this time? Millie asked, excitement in her voice. Costumes? Oh hell yes. Verosika yelled as she shuddered in lust. Naruto was thinking. I have Playboy bunny outfits, Valerie said with a teasing smirk. Oh, for our own foxy Hugh Hefner here. I love it. Verosika giggled. I'm gonna go shower, so you all go get dressed. Time to throw a party, Naruto growled at his girls, who nodded and eagerly went to change. Naruto entered the shower, realizing it was a huge room with not only a shower but an indoor pool and a hot tub. Well, at least V went all out, Naruto thought as he got undressed and closed the shower stall. Unknown to him, the girls had a fun idea that he would enjoy when he exited the shower. Soon he finished his shower and got out of the stall, but paused as he saw his girls in swimsuits, high heels and bunny ears around the pool. Valerie had on a two-piece blue and purple bikini that pushed together her melons, making it more pronounced. Verosika was in a purple bikini that barely covered her nip piles. Millie was in a simple white bikini that hugged her curves tightly. Loona was in a black bikini that showed off her melons and peach around the fabric against her assets. You better appreciate this, Alpha. I hate wearing heels, Loona said. Noted my salty little pet, Naruto said to her with a smile. I think he likes our outfits, Millie said with a smile, seeing Naruto's exposed PP stand tall. Of course he would. For appealing bees in swimsuits and bunny ears ready to serve their MSTR's every longing. What more could a man above all others want? Verosika asked with a lustful smirk. Well, said my succubus, I suppose you want first crack since you were a good girl and finished rehab? Naruto asked as he approached and trailed a finger under her chin. Oh no, MSTR, I want to wait and watch you wreck them first. I want to see what they can do before I get a taste after so long, she said with a lustful grin as she looked at the other girls. Naruto nodded at this and looked at his other girls. You all decide the order, he asked as he wasn't one to pick favorites. The three girls looked at each other before hilariously having a three-way game of rock paper scissors. Each motion with their arms and bodies jiggling their assets for Naruto's and Verosika's sight. Rock paper scissors shoot. The three called out after 3 games that ended in a draw. Okay, this is getting sad. Loona assumed the position, Naruto growled out. Yes, daddy. Loona shouted as she immediately went on all fours, wiggling her bikini-clad peach for Naruto's sight, her tail wagging in excitement. Naruto's PP throbbed seeing this, and he got on his knees behind Loona and moved her bottoms to the side before thrusting fully into his hellhound lover's PP. Oh woo woo. Loona howled as she threw her head back and arched her body as Naruto grabbed her peach and started to move into her roughly. I've been waiting to see you F her since you sent me that pic and told me she's Blitzo's daughter, Verosika said, watching the show and basking in the lust Loona was feeling. Ah. Daddy's so rough with me. I love it. Loona panted in bliss, her tongue hanging out. Naruto growled as he leaned forward and gripped her covered melons. Would daddy's little girl like to carry his child? He growled into her ear lowly. Yes. I'll be daddy's little breeding bee for eternity. Loona screamed out as her tail wagged, tickling Naruto's chiseled abs. Take my juices and breed some fantastic pups for your alpha then be. He yelled as he gripped her peach hard and clenched in her PP. Yes. Loona howled as she clenched from feeling his juice fill her. After they rode out their orgasms, Naruto pulled out of Loona, making her lay down to rest, her peach still in the air as she panted for breath. Naruto looked and saw Millie and Valerie making out in the hot tub, smirking at him. Along and get it, sweetie, Millie said as she and Valerie gave him a close here gesture with their fingers. Oh, it's on SLTS. Naruto growled as he stalked over to the hot tub. Like a predator hunting prey. Millie and Valerie's smiles got bigger as Naruto got into the hot tub. Seeing as you're done with that bee, how about you let a real woman give this thing a go? Valerie asked with a smirk as Naruto sat down in the hot tub. Big talk teach. Get over here and saddle up, Naruto said. Valerie got up and walked over to Naruto and got in his lap. Her tips directly in his face as she hovered her pee-pee over his pee-pee. Since you teach so well, how about a lesson from me and see how I do? What happens when you take a worthless SLT and impale her on a pee-pee? He asked with an infernal smirk. Let's find out. I expect your best if you want a good grade. Valerie said as Naruto grabbed her peach and impaled her on his mighty pee-pee, making the teacher scream out in unrepentant pleasure. Verosika smirked as she watched Naruto f Valerie without restraint. She then noticed Millie watching them too with a smile as she gripped her own melons and played with her pee-pee as she watched. Hey, if you have the energy for that, let's me and you get to know each other, Verosika said as she approached Millie. Millie smirked at this as she got out a massive strap-on and put it on. Assume the position B, she said to Verosika. Verosika smirked and got on all fours before moving her left hand down to her pee-pee and spread it open for Millie. Show me what you got, impy, she said as smirked at Millie. Millie thrusted her strap-on into Verosika's pee-pee and without any warning started to F the succubus with no restraint. Oh F yeah. You're a rough little bee, aren't you? Verosika screamed with a mad grin on her face. DMN right SLT. Millie said as she slapped Verosika's peach while thrusting. Well, you're definitely better than Blitzo. Not that that's saying much. She smirked mockingly, goading Millie to rail her harder and harder. Naruto and Valerie were still going at it hard and Valerie was panting helplessly as Naruto used her willing body to get off as if she was AF doll. You almost there, babe? Naruto asked as he felt he was almost ready to leak, though he wasn't feeling winded in the least. Yes. I am leaking. She shouted as she leaked from his savage THRSTS. Naruto smirked as he pulled Valerie into a rough kiss as he also juice-pied her willing snatch. Valerie screamed muffled through the kiss as she felt his juice flood her TWT and WMB. After they rode out their CLMX, Naruto pulled out of Valerie and turned to see that Millie was still F Verosika with everything she had. Verosika was panting and screaming in lust from the rough F Millie was giving her. OHF. I'm definitely gonna keep you, Mills. Verosika screamed out. Before Millie could make the succubus leak, however, Naruto got from behind her and thrusted his pee-pee right up Millie's peach. Ah! Millie with a smile as her tail wrapped around Naruto's waist. I was gonna be the one to use her holes first after her rehab stint. But it seems you couldn't control yourself, Millie, Naruto said. Please MSTR. Let her finish getting me off. Verosika whined since Millie stopped thrusting. Oh, don't worry, my succubee, you'll definitely feel her THRSTS. He roared as she threw Ted into Millie's peach and made her in turn move into Verosika with the strap on. Ah, both women as they felt incredible pleasure from this F-train of sorts. Naruto smacked Millie's peach as he thirsted into her, making her squeal in pleasure as he stretched her peach out. After I'm done with my disobedient imp here, your next V, he said with a smirk as he spanked Millie's peach over and over again. Millie smirked as she looked at Naruto and kissed him. If this is my punishment, maybe I should be bad more often, she as Naruto F her and smacked her thick peach. Keep disobeying and I'll make you watch from now on only. He told her with a vicious feral smirk. Why won't you love me, Millie True, Naruto growled as he did love Millie and couldn't deny her anything, but I can stall the time I do F you by not thrusting, he said as he stopped thrusting immediately to mess with both Millie and Verosika. And no. Please give me your love. Millie begged as she pouted. F that's hot. Naruto roared as he started thrusting into Millie's peach again, even more savagely, which made her move into Verosika at the same pace. Yes. That's it, my love. I'm gonna leak so F hard. Verosika screamed. Millie said nothing as her mind was hazy now as she finally started to leak from Naruto doing her peach. Naruto roared as he also leaked, dumping his hot juices into her peach. Millie panted as Naruto dropped her and she fell on top of Verosika, who was still trying to catch her breath. Such a dedicated little imp, Verosika said, with a chuckle as she pet Millie's hair. Indeed she is. But right now it's time, Naruto said as he beckoned Verosika over to him. Yes, Daddy, Verosika said as she jumped to attention, not even noticing Millie fall to the floor in her lustful mindset. Daddy has missed you, Naruto growled as he hugged Verosika to him, rubbing his pee-pee on her wet pee-pee. And I missed Daddy, Verosika said as she while also pulling Naruto's head down into her melons. Something she missed doing when she was in rehab. You did such a good job in rehab, I should reward my little girl, Naruto said as he teased her pee-pee with his pee-pee. Only if you wish it, Daddy. My body is your personal toy, she said lustfully. On your back now, Naruto growled, leaking out some of his power. Verosika without hesitation dropped to the floor on her back while spreading her legs as wide as possible. Naruto didn't hesitate and mounted his succubus lover and thrusted into her pee-pee. I missed this so much, Verosika screamed as loud as she could. She had missed this so very much. Naruto noticed that his other girls were still panting and lust, still primed to go, so he made 3 reinforced clones for them. The clones dashed to the women and started to PND them more. What they didn't notice was a clone of Verosika using her cell phone to start streaming the org. A technique Naruto taught her before she went into rehab and perfected while in rehab. Though she could only make one at most currently. With Charlie. Charlie had finally caught up with Vaggy and made her and Octavia stop fighting. Well, tried anyway. With Octavia she tried to attack both of them and was now currently tied up. So after having them all sit down she wanted to have them talk this out, and was failing miserably. You stole my man, Octavia screeched at Charlie as she struggled to get loose. She didn't steal anything, it was that cabron that stole her from me, Vaggy yelled. That is enough, Naruto didn't make this happen. If anyone is to blame it's my parents, Charlie said, officially tired of this argument. Yeah, well, it's not like we have a shot at getting close to them to make him pay, Vaggy said with a scowl. So it's better to blame Naruto? Charlie asked. He's a man. He probably planned this ahead of time, Vaggy yelled. Wow, how tolerant of you, Octavia said sarcastically. You got something to say to me? You're AF hypocrite. You blame others when things don't go your way, Octavia yelled. How dare you? Vaggy roared at the Goetia princess. Look, I'm sure if we find Naruto we can make this better. We all just need to calm down, Charlie said. Yeah, well, that idiot fled with his group of wares, Vaggy said. Vaggy, Charlie said with a look of disapproval as she knew Luna, Millie, and Valerie since they actually started texting. You know he's with that succubus Puta as well, right? Vaggy asked, not having a high opinion of succubi and had no idea why Lilith helped create them. You do realize she went exclusive with him, right? Octavia asked. Charlie and Vaggy's eyes widened in surprise at this, as succubus never went exclusive with lovers. Hey, I got an alert from Verosika, Blitzo yelled from the sidewalk where he was still tied up but his tail was holding his phone. You're subscribed to her podcast? Vaggy asked. It was something I agreed to do when we were dating. I'm not happy about it, Blitzo clarified. Wait, you and Verosika? Octavia asked with a raised eyebrow. Long story, Blitzo said, not really wanting to get into it. Ha! I knew that Puta had no standards, Vaggy said. Vaggy, Charlie said with a frown. Huh? Oh. I don't mean because he's an imp, Charlie, you know I'm not prejudiced person, Vaggy said. Unless they have TSTCLS, both Octavia and Blitzo said. Hey! You two don't know me, so zip it before I get you both like fish, Vaggy yelled. I'd like to see you try when I peck your eyes out. Octavia roared. Okay, enough. Mr. Blitz, why does it matter that Veronica is streaming now? Charlie asked. Well, if she's with Naruto and she's streaming, I thought maybe the stream would give us a hint to where they are, Blitzo said, making Octavia and Vaggie cease arguing and look at him. Charlie nodded at this. Here, let me see your phone, she said. Blitzo nodded and handed his phone to Charlie. Charlie looked at his phone and tapped on the icon for the stream, which made it load up, and when she saw what it was she went red and her nose started to bleed before she fainted to the floor. Charlie! Vaggie yelled, checking on her lover. Oh, that's right, Whiskers. Tame your succubus bee. Veronica could be heard screaming from her phone. OFDMN it. They're filming PWN. If Looney is involved, I swear. Blitzo started to say before being cut off. F me daddy. Oh whoa. Loona could be heard howling. Oh, get on. Blitzo shouted. Wow, Octavia said, seeing Naruto had Loona bent over and was her best friend like an animal in heat. Maybe I should join Loona for a THRSM with him, she said as she was liking the looks of the hellhound in the video. I'm gonna kill that perv. Where is he? Vaggie yelled at Blitzo. The stream said it's being filmed in the Lust Ring. Blitzo yelled, having no shame in selling Naruto out. Of course that perv and his SLTS would hide there, Vaggie growled as she carried Charlie to Octavia's limo and loaded her in. Hey, that's my ride. Octavia yelled. F you pendejo. Vaggie yelled before she took off in the limo. Octavia yelled in fury before she finally broke her chains and got loose. Great, you're strong like your dad. Now care to get me loose? Blitzo asked. You're coming with me, Octavia said with a glare at Blitzo. Why? Blitzo asked, not liking the look in her eyes. My dad has a spell to track people down and I need something to bribe him with to use it to find Naruto, Octavia said as she grabbed Blitzo by the tail and dragged him off. Oh, F my life. Blitzo yelled out. Things will get F, but your life ain't one of them, Octavia said to him. With Vaggie and Charlie. Today he dies. Vaggie growled before listening to Charlie mumble while unconscious. F me harder Naruto, Charlie muttered in a daze. Ragag. Vaggie's rage-filled scream echoed throughout the entirety of hell. Few days later. Naruto was outside the house. Him and his girls were hiding and walking to the mailbox to get the mail. Geez, how many magazines do my girls need? Naruto asked with a smile. He then saw what looked like a black limo coming down the road, and thanks to his senses he saw who was driving the black limo. It was Vaggie, who had a look of absolute fury on her face. Naruto looked at this calmly and walked back into the house and locked the door. After a few moments of silence. Oh Lord, that crazy be found us. Naruto screamed out, running into the kitchen where the other girls were waving his arms wildly. Oh F, she must have seen the stream, Veronica muttered. What stream? Millie asked. I may have streamed our org for my fans the other day to watch a real man F us, Veronica explained. Oh, that's just great, now we have to flee you F idiot. Loona yelled. Hey, I'm not stupid, Veronica said, offended. I see why Blitz dated you. Loona barked. You mother dash, Veronica yelled out before she was interrupted. Focus bees. We need to get out of here before she gets to the door. Naruto yelled. They then heard the front door banging. Prepare to die. Vaggie yelled out from the other side of the door. Too late, Valerie said. Couldn't you just take her out? You have a holy weapon and you're an overlord, Veronica pointed out. I am not killing her to make things easier. Now open a portal to the human world. Naruto yelled. Only after Loona apologizes, Veronica said. Babe, you're the one who screwed us, so open the F portal. Naruto yelled. Fine, but you all owe me, Veronica said as she waved her hands with a pink glow, making a large pink portal appear in the room. They then heard the door finally break down and Vaggy walked through the destroyed door frame with a battle axe in hand. Finally. Die perv. She roared, dashing at him. Rain check, we are off to spring break. Verosika yelled as she grabbed Naruto and the other girls and threw them through the portal and jumped through after them before the portal closed, leaving an enraged Vaggy behind. You have to get back some time, perv. And when you do, I'll take your head. She roared. Ugh, where are we? Charlie asked as she entered the house since she heard her lover yelling. That perv escaped to the human world. Vaggy yelled in complete and total fury. With Naruto. Naruto and his girls were under a pier on AB panting from barely escaping Vaggy. Why are we at AB? Valerie asked as they all hid behind some rocks since they didn't have any human disguises currently. Well, Verosika did say spring break, Millie said, as that was a fun time in both hell and the human world as everyone made bad choices then. Babe, if you're gonna give us disguises, now's the time, Naruto said. No problem, Verosika said as she snapped her fingers and engulfing everyone but Loona in a burst of blue fire. When the fire dispersed, Naruto saw that he looked like his regular human form before he went to hell. Verosika didn't look that different, but her skin had a tan and her tail was gone. Valerie had her human form before she died. Millie was the most surprising, she was still shorter than them all, had red hair and caramel skin. Redhead, huh? I approve, Naruto said, giving Millie a thumbs up. I know you love redhead, so I figured my little imp would like red hair, Verosika said with a smile as she pinched Millie's cheek affectionately. Not the one on her face, if you get the meaning. Okay, Loona, let's see yours, Naruto said, turning to his hellhound lover. My human disguise or my tips? 'Cause I'm not gonna say no to either, Alpha, Loona said with a smirk. We have humans approaching, so human form please, Naruto said, knowing they could get in trouble if exposed. Loona quickly made a blue glow surround her in order to turn into a human disguise. A goth girl with silver hair. Something about goth girls I just love, Naruto growled out with a smirk. Me too, Verosika purred lustfully. Loona smiled at this and tossed her hair, showing off a bit. Say, if we F you in that form, would it PSS off Blitzo more 'cause you're in a disguise? Verosika asked. He has no clue what I look like as a human form, Loona said with a shrug. Also pretty sure I PSS him off doing anything with you, Naruto added. Yes, but he hates non-demonic beings, Verosika Mayday pointed out before getting interrupted. Oh my god, is that Verosika Mayday? A human male yelled out. I love her. Another male shouted. I want her to sign my bub. A woman with them shouted. You're famous in the human world too? Valerie asked. You were alive, how have you not heard of me? Verosika asked. I was an elementary school teacher, I wasn't exactly along with modern music, Valerie said. I knew one day them not passing that law to play pop music in schools would ruin my fame, Verosika said. Babe, you literally have a song called Vaki to Bone Town, Naruto said as he was pretty sure any guy or woman with an SXL curiosity listened to it. Not exactly family friendly, Millie said. Okay, fair point. Verosika muttered. Anyways, you've got a stampede of people rushing towards us. What should we do? Valerie asked. Well, I did want to throw a concert here for spring break, but I need a bodyguard, Verosika said with a smirk at Naruto. Just like old times, eh? Fine, but you owe me, babe, Naruto said. Pretty sure you've established that the other way around. VOICEOVER said. I said oh, not oh, never mind. Naruto said, rolling his eyes. Technically, if he owns anyone, it's me. I am his pet after all, Loona said with a smirk as she hugged Naruto's arm. With Blitzo. Blitzo was with Octavia being dragged towards her home by his tail. Can't believe you made me chase you for a whole day, Octavia said. Listen kid, I hate to say it, but you so take after your dad, I actually pity Naruto now for whatever sick SHT you have planned, Blitzo said. Better him than my mom, Octavia said as her mother wanted a different kind of piece of Blitzo than what her father wanted. Point made, Blitzo agreed. Ah, there you are, my owlet. Oh, and what's this you brought Blitzy here? Stolas said with a smile as he was putting away his fishing supplies. Yeah, I need you to find Naruto with that spell you have, and I dragged him here as payment, Octavia said, throwing Blitzo into Stola's arms. Well, normally I wouldn't agree to such a thing, Blitzo started to say before Octavia glared at him. Now my owlet. No need to act rashly here. Stolas started to say. Dad, I love you, but find Naruto now. Octavia screeched, using her powers to look demonic to get her point across. Yes, dear. Stolas squeaked out in fear. Here, you can use this. Blitzo yelled in a panic, holding up his grimoire with his tail. Stolas nodded and opened the grimoire, and after a few moments he cast his spell. Oh dear, it seems young Naruto and his girls went to the human world, Stolas said, showing an image of Naruto at a concert at AB in a human form. That's Sakubi. This is her doing. Bring him here now. Octavia yelled. She was more upset with the circumstances in this case than at any of the girls. Well, I did send that bee after him, so he probably bailed to the human world when she found him. It's what I would have done, Blitzo said. If I do that I may alert the humans, and you know that's a major law, dear, Stolas said. Not if I kill them all. Octavia screeched out. As much as I love the idea of a rampage in the human world. Pretty sure your dad's right in this case, Blitzo pointed out. They then saw what looked like a portal open next to Naruto, and Vaggy and Charlie appear. You're dead, you deviant. Vaggy yelled as she tackled Naruto. Okay, now we can go, Stolas said. Good, I'll tear that bee apart. Octavia shrieked. Stolas, if we survive this I'll do whatever you want to you tonight, Blitzo said, knowing this may end horribly. With Naruto. Naruto was trying to keep Vaggy away from him, but she had him by his arm. You're breaking my arm. He yelled as he was thrown onto the ground in a hold by Vaggy. Only because I can't reach your neck. Vaggy yelled as she squeezed his arm. How the F did you two get here? Verosika asked Charlie as the humans all fled. Princess of Hell, I would assume she has ways to the human world, Loona said flatly. Actually I don't, Charlie started to say, even we technically can't be up here. Then who sent you here? Millie asked. Alastair was more than happy to help if it, and I quote, gave Whiskers a headache, Charlie said. Charlie, if I survive your crazy girlfriend here I'm kicking him in the PP till his TSTCLS fly out his mouth, Naruto said, having enough of the radio demon's BS. All while Vaggy was still trying to kill him. Hold still and die. Vaggy yelled. Suddenly a portal opened and Octavia tackled Vaggy. Round 2B. Octavia yelled. Octavia? How the F did you get here? Naruto asked. I have my ways, darling. Octavia said. I see how, Loona said, seeing the grimoire, Stolas, and Blitzo. Octavia and Vaggy were both choking each other. Okay, that is enough. Charlie yelled, her face taking a demonic look and her teeth sharpening and her eyes slitting. This made everyone stop in their tracks, even Stolas. Holy SHT, that's hot, Naruto and Verosika mumble. I've had enough. Vaggy, calm the F down. She commanded, and you, she pointed at Octavia, enough with this jealousy, she told her, making the two stop attacking each other. Charlie huffed as she calmed down. That's right, red cheeks, just breath, Naruto said, patting Charlie on the back as she took some calming breaths. You gonna tell me you aren't totally gonna F the princess now? Verosika asked with a smirk. Vaggy growled at this. Not helping, Naruto said flatly to his succubus lover. Oh, I'm not here to help. To me this is like a sitcom, Verosika said while eating popcorn. You gonna share that popcorn? Millie asked Verosika, who snapped her finger and created another bucket for the imp. Look Vaggy, I am sorry for this whole thing, I didn't plan this. I swear it on my ramen stash, Naruto said. Loona, when we get back you're helping me find his hidden ramen stash, Verosika said as she got a nod from the obedient hellhound as Verosika had to stop drinking. The least he could do was eat ramen in moderation. Why the hell should I believe you? Vaggy asked. Because I'm an honest man. Naruto said. Try again as, Vaggy growled. Just because you're a lesbian doesn't mean you have to take your man hate out on me, lady, Naruto said, kind of sick of her attitude. Hey. I have reasons. Vaggy said. Can I just point out something real quick? Valerie asked, getting everyone's attention. You don't believe for some inane reasons, but let me point this out. What do you think your odds in a fight with this Alaster overlord would be, Mrs. Vaggy? She said. Victor versus the radio demon. Yeah right, Blitzo yelled before laughing. Exactly why are you attacking someone who fought said overlord to a draw? Valerie asked. She's got guts the size of pride. Loona chimed. Oh, I know why she is attacking me, Naruto said. Do tell, Valerie asked. She loves Charlie so much she doesn't care if she dies trying to kill me, Naruto said. But why you? Because I got Charlie's attention from her, Naruto said. Well, that and her parents making you her fiancé, Millie said. Look, as investing as this drama is, we should leave before the human police show up, Stolas said as he made a new portal. Everyone in now, he said. Well, the point I was trying to make before we head back, Mrs. Vaggy, is this. Think about how you were able to damage a being on par with one you stand no chance in combat against. He let you do damage, simple as that. Valerie said. Vaggy scowled at this and looked away from them. Fine, she said. Naruto sighed in relief, glad this was over. I'll find a holy weapon and then I'll kill him. Vaggy yelled as she ran through the portal. Charlie sighed at this. Sorry about all this, Naruto, she said, bowing her head at Naruto. It's fine, Charlie, just focus on making Vaggy happy for now, Naruto said as he patted Charlie on the head. Charlie blushed lightly at this but nodded. That is one persistent chick, Stolas muttered while Blitzo looked surprised and slightly proud of getting the Goetia prince to lose his regal facade with that sentence. Come on, I can smell the pigs coming, Verosika said. Pigs? Where? I need bacon. Naruto said, not familiar with slang from this world. Better not let Angel hear you say that, he has a pet hell pig, Charlie said as she still found it odd. There are hell pigs? Naruto asked. Baby, you have no idea, Millie said as she was well experienced in all types of animals. Look, can we go before we have to deal with more humans? Verosika shouted. Alright, everyone in the portal, chop chop. Millie yelled as they all went through behind Charlie. In hell. Everyone grunted as they ended up in a pile in the IMP office. Whose hand is that? Verosika asked, feeling a hand where only one hell fox had permission to touch it other than the girls. Sorry. Blitzo yelled, taking his hand back before it'd be taken off. Let's just get the hell out of here before I change my mind about killing everyone here. Vaggy yelled as she stomped out of the office, Charlie close behind. You know, I could work my magic to make her loosen up a bit, Verosika said, making some suggestive gestures with her fingers. No, I wanna actually try to befriend her, Naruto said. And how are you gonna do that? Octavia asked with a glare. Well, I'm gonna assume some guy in the human world hurt her a lot, Naruto said with a hand under his chin. Oh God, Octavia said, knowing what Naruto was thinking. I'm gonna hunt him down and bring her his head, Naruto said with a savage smile. And how are you going to find one human on a giant planet? Blitzo asked. Good point, I will have to plan this out. Maybe Charlie knows, Naruto said. Oh, a date with the princess. Verosika said. Why go out with her when one's right here, Octavia said. Technically I'm the princess of pop, Verosika pointed out. Technically no one cares. Octavia said. Okay, for now let's go home. And Octavia, I have a question, you wanna go out on a real date? Naruto asked simply. Yes. Octavia said, her feathers fluffing up slightly. Good Verosika owes me reservations for this place in the lust ring for her F up with that stream, Naruto said with a smirk at his succubus lover. Verosika pouted at this. Fine, she spat out knowing she had to give Naruto what he wanted. It's called the House of Asmodeus, Naruto said to her. Blitzo's eyes widened at this. You're taking her to Ozzy's, he yelled. Ozzy? Naruto asked. It's a high-end club, it's impossible to get a reservation, Millie said with a jealous look. Impossible unless you're me, Verosika said as she was friends with Asmodeus. Wait Blitz, you're on a first-name basis with this guy? Naruto asked. None of your business, man. Where? Blitzo yelled before he left the office. Naruto scoffed as he looked at Octavia. So this weekend okay? He asked. Absolutely. Octavia said with a smile on her face as she hugged Naruto. And why should I allow you to take my daughter to this club? Stolas asked as he was familiar with Asmodeus and his lustful antics. Because if not she'll be pissed at you. Naruto said. You can date her but I do not want my Owlette at that club, Stolas said resolutely. Do not test me, Dad. Octavia growled with malice at her father. Oh goodness, look at the time. Have fun at Ozzy's you too. Stolas said as he ran out the door in a rush out of fear. You are so hot right now, Naruto said to Octavia who blushed but smirked. Lucky bee. I wanted to go to Ozzy's with Whiskers first, Verosika muttered. Don't you perform there daily? Loona asked. Weekly and I never get to go as a guest. She pouted. Well, considering your connections you could get us all in when he has the time, Loona said simply. Ooh, that's a good idea, Loona. I'll call Asmodeus and schedule a date for all of us, Verosika said as she ran to make a call. You bees better not get in the way of my date. Octavia yelled. Relax love, it's all about you for this date, Naruto said. DMN right. I'm fine with sharing but only after I have my turn. Octavia said with finality. Excited for the date. Ozzy's in the lust ring. Naruto and Octavia were in a limousine on their way to Ozzy's. Still surprised your dad was okay with me taking you to the lust ring, Naruto said as he adjusted his suit. Oh, he wasn't, but I have my ways, Octavia said as she adjusted her black dress. You threatened him, didn't you? Naruto asked with a knowing smirk. Maybe, Octavia said with a coy smile. Hey, I never asked yesterday, but how were you able to take Valerie out of the pride ring to the lust ring? She asked as sinners were bound to the pride ring only. Oh that, see, I found out from your dad that since I'm an overlord my lovers get special privileges. Naruto explained. Makes sense. I wonder what privileges I'll get when we make it official, Octavia said. This your way to ask me to make you one of my lovers? Naruto smirked. Well, I could always use my father's idea of a BLLGG and chains, Octavia said. That won't be necessary, Naruto said with a shudder. Okay, Octavia said while pocketing a BLLGG she conveniently had hidden behind her back. Tell you the truth, I wanted to make it official for a bit but things were getting crazy lately, what with the whole fighting that Radio Freak and becoming a bodyguard for Charlie's hotel, Naruto said. More than a bodyguard now, Octavia growled slightly. Vaya, I don't know what is gonna happen with Charlie, but all you need to know is that you're important to me and I'm not going anywhere, Naruto said as he took her hand in his. Octavia sighed. Very well, I won't peck out her eyes, she said. And you won't attack Vaggie? Naruto asked. I don't know. What's my incentive? Octavia asked with a mischievous smirk. Let's get through this date and I'll make you hoot all night long, my Owlette, Naruto smirked as he pulled her close to him. Octavia shuddered at this. You need a new nickname for me, babe, she said but still smiled. I'll come up with something, he said. I may have a few on a list, Octavia said as she pulled out a very, very long scroll that said, names Naruto can call me. Naruto looked at the names and chuckled. I'll go with Eve, he said with a smile as he trailed a finger under her chin. Oh, I was hoping you'd pick number 5364. But I suppose we can use that in the bedroom, Octavia said. Naruto looked at the list and looked at Octavia flatly. my feathered juice dump?" he asked. "What?" Octavia asked innocently. "Babe, I prefer nicknames that I can say with love behind it," Naruto said as the limousine stopped. "You can say that one with both love and lust," she said as the two stepped out of the limo. The two saw a massive line just to get into Ozzy's. "Is this normal?" Naruto asked as he looked at how far the line went back. As soon as he said that, everyone in line turned to him. Many in shock and fear, having recognized the voice from the news. Naruto put up his hands at this. "Relax everyone, I'm just here with my date," he said before pulling Octavia close. The people in line eyes widened further at the sight of Octavia. An overlord and a Goetia heiress on a date. Many would be absolutely terrified. A big figure appeared in front of the entrance to the club. The newest overlord decided to pay my club a visit. And with the Dark Prince's daughter too. Now this is a surprise as I haven't spoken with your daddy in a few months," the figure said. "Asmodeus, right?" Naruto asked as Veroskia had mentioned him before. "Yes, I am the purveyor of the perverse." "Asmodeus," he greeted. Verosika said, "I could have her table for my date. I hope that won't be a problem," Naruto said. "Yes, she called earlier saying her lover had a date with a newbie he's looking to break in," Asmodeus chuckled. "Yeah, that sounds like Verosika," Naruto said with a sigh. "Remind me to gouge her eyes out later," Octavia said with a flat look. "You're not gouging out her eyes, Eve," Naruto told her. Asmodeus rose an eyebrow at the nickname Naruto used. "The lover's nickname?" he asked. Naruto paused at this and glared at Asmodeus, making his eyes glow slightly. "That a problem?" he asked as Asmodeus disappeared in purple smoke and reappeared behind the two. "Look, you're new to certain aspects of hell, so I'll let it slide this time, but this place is for lust and the lustful," Asmodeus whispered. "We are plenty lustful," Naruto said, still glaring. "Oh, I know. I watched Verosika's stream," Asmodeus said with a chuckle. "Look, I don't want any trouble since you seem the most reasonable compared to that radio as," Naruto said. "Yeah, I don't exactly want an overlord with high connections to attack me or my club, so here's my proposal. I won't insult your love or lovers and you keep the mushy stuff to a minimum. Also, if you sing no love songs. Only lust songs," Asmodeus said, knowing that while he was stronger than Naruto as he was someone Stolas was wary of, he did not want someone who's technically a member of the royal family against him. He's betrothed to Charlie, he may as well be a prince of hell at this point. Naruto thought about this and nodded. "Give me a 10% discount and it's a deal," he said. 5% and free water, Asmodeus counter-offered. Hey, he needed to make money. 7 and you add soda to the free list, Naruto said. You drive a hard bargain, Uzumaki. I like you. Deal, he agreed. Naruto held out his hand to shake, knowing it was always best to get a handshake since those were unbreakable in hell. Asmodeus without hesitation shook his hand. Well, enjoy the show you two, and tell Verosika her reservation for a massive table is set for after Christmas, Asmodeus said. Naruto nodded as he took Octavia's arm and they both walked into the club. The two were led by an imp to a private booth. Miss Verosika suggested this table rather than her spotlight table, the imp said, knowing she had two just for her in Aussies. One for privacy and one for when she wants to be seen. Naruto nodded and handed the imp a 20 as he helped Octavia sit down. As soon as the two sat down, the lights faded. Hey hey hey. A robotic voice sounded. Ugh, this guy, Naruto said, irritated. I hate this guy, Octavia said with a scowl, remembering how scared she was of his robot as a kid. It's me, the amazing Fizzarali. You've seen my likeness on several robotic models, but tonight you get the real deal. And like those robo-me's, I'm ribbed for your pleasure tonight, he said as he pulled down the sleeve of his arm. I think I just threw up a little, Naruto whispered to Octavia, who giggled at this. Tonight we have an amazing show in store for you pervs. Tonight we've got the stylings of, as Fizzarali trailed off listing the entertainment for tonight, Octavia and Naruto were looking over the menu. There's no ramen, Foxy, Octavia said as she didn't look up from her menu. You all know I can quit eating ramen anytime I want to. I just don't want to, Naruto said defensively. Sure you can. Octavia said, still not looking up. Naruto pouted at this but shrugged as he looked over his menu. So you learn how to use your new powers from your dad? He asked, deciding to start a conversation. Unfortunately he was preoccupied, Octavia said. Blitz or your mom? Naruto asked. Both actually, Octavia said, knowing it was gonna be crazy for her father today. Well, if you want I could help you train, Naruto offered. Octavia smiled at this and nodded, knowing Naruto may not know magic but did have experience with powers and abilities. Good evening. What can I get for you two to start with? We have a very fine selection of wines this evening. A well-dressed imp approached their table and asked politely to see if they'd be interested in some wines. I don't know wines. Any suggestions? Naruto asked the imp politely. We have a very nice Sauvignon Cabernet for the evening, as well as a very sweet rose wine with a hint of cherry. Naruto nodded at this and looked at Octavia. What do you think, Eve? He asked. I'm thinking the rose. Father prefers red wines like Cabernet, while I prefer a little sweetness, she said as Naruto nodded. We'll take a bottle of the rose wine, Naruto said as the imp nodded and went to fetch the drink and glasses. A little later, Naruto and Octavia had just finished their meal and were currently drinking wine while watching the performances. Okay, I'll admit food besides ramen can be great, Naruto said with a smile as his steak was amazing. Very tender, spiced perfectly. It was incredible. Octavia nodded and looked at the dance floor, seeing other people dance. Naruto looked at Octavia and smiled. You wanna dance? He asked her. We can dance there or we can go to the other dance floor, she grinned, pointing at a dance floor with strpr poles. For a first date I prefer something traditional with one of my girls, though if you wanna work a pole for me later in private, Naruto said with a teasing smirk. You do realize where we are, right? Octavia. I'm not one to put on a show, babe, Naruto said. What about your deal with Asmodeus? Also, you are so dense, I'm trying to say let's F. This is a lust lounge, she said. Oh, I know, babe. Sumi, I like to spoil my girls. You do realize I like to be affectionate in addition to having SEC, right? Naruto asked. Fair, but if you want to affectionately dance we need a different venue, she said, pointing out all the people grinding on each other on the dance floor. Good point. Okay, you owe me a real date later. For now let's get a motel and make us official, Naruto whispered to her. Motel, or should we get a private room here? She asked. They have those here? Naruto asked. Yup, and no, they don't spy on you. Though the imps that work here will provide services if asked, Octavia. How did you even dash? Naruto said before being interrupted. Pamphlet, Octavia said, simply holding up said pamphlet. Oh, thank goodness, I thought you let some other guy defile you, Naruto said as he sighed in relief. Oh hell no. No one else would compare, she said. How do you know? We haven't done anything yet, Naruto asked with a teasing smirk. I may have watched Verosika's stream after it posted, she said with a small blush. Ah, that's why Luna has been giggling and texting you. Does my Eve wanna be my CC pet with her best friend? Naruto asked as he trailed a finger under her chin. More than anything, Octavia said immediately without hesitation. I'll text Luna where to meet us then, Naruto said as he took out his phone before grabbing Octavia and picking her up over his shoulder. Good show, Asmodeus, see you later. As awaits me. He said as he hauled out of there with his date as Asmodeus sent him a thumbs up. With Luna. Luna was watching TV in Naruto's penthouse looking bored. Suddenly the door was kicked down and Naruto came in while still carrying Octavia on his shoulder. Hey Alpha, you finally breaking her in, huh? Luna asked with a smirk. Yeah, and you're helping, so get in my room and prepare your salty body beat, Naruto growled at Luna. Yes sir, she said as she immediately ran into the room. Oh wow, you really have her trained, Octavia muttered. And before the night is over you will be trained too, Naruto said as he smacked her peach, making her mm. Naruto followed Octavia into his bedroom and saw a stage. The lights flashed down on the center of the stage. Standing side by side were Loona and Octavia. The princess of hell gripped the pole with both her hands while Loona had her back turned Naruto. They looked over at their lover and smiled. Loona acted first, so Octavia moved aside, giving Loona her shot. She pressed her back up against the hard steel pole as she moved her body up and down with a slow SNSL motion, her large peach pressing over the pole. She then got on all fours, moving around the pole like corny little puppy, giving a sultry woof as she did so till she gripped at the pole once more and proceeded to shaking and twerking her peach in Naruto's direction, moving back and forth. Up and down, showing off her peach. She raised one leg, wrapping it over the pole, and she spun herself again and again, bending downwards with her hands behind her head, giving her melons a good shake for her man. Octavia came in next, walking like strpr but keeping the elegance of a queen. She took hold of the pole with just one hand, pressing he back up against it, smiling as she raised her left leg, pulling down her stocking and tossing it to the side. She repeated this process with her right. She strutted over towards Naruto, laying down in front of him, running her hand along his face, cupping his chin as she leaned in closer, only to pull back, and shook her hips back and forth as she reached behind her dress, slowly pulling down the zipper. She hugged under her melons, giving Naruto and wink, reaching up one cup, pulling it down, exposing one of her white/black feathered melons. She then spread her legs apart, pulling as she let the dress fall, exposing herself to Naruto, holding out her hands, embracing his gaze. Octavia smiled, pleased by his reaction, as she struts over towards him, flipping off the stage onto his lap. She runs her hands over his chest, grinding herself up against him, nibbling on his ear. Naruto gripped her peach, rubbing them as she in his ear. Such a dirty little bird I have, he said, whispering into her ear teasingly, feeling her feathers jump out slightly. Octavia her grinding increasing in speed. Ah, I swear I am his SLT, his toy and sleeve, she thought, hoping to be breed and filled with his juice. The princess of the Goetia family then proceeded to remove Naruto's shirt, showing his muscular abs and upper body, making her mouth water as she rubbed his abs. Loona crawled over and helped remove his pants and unders. Octavia let out a little yelp, feeling his freed manhood smack her lower lips. That thing is basically a weapon, she thought to herself, as nothing that large could be considered as anything less. I know you have been wanting a chance to have this bad boy inside you. I want to watch as he absolutely ruins you. Loona grinned at Octavia before giving the bird woman a long teasingly lick at her lower lips, making her watching him just take a B will be a true prize, she thought, as watching her mstr just take a woman was always a sight to behold. Naruto gripped Octavia by her peach cheeks as he rubbed his PP on her wet PP. You ready? He asked with a smirk as she Naruto rubbed himself up and down teasingly over Octavia's nether regions. The urge for the SEC and the feeling of temptation made her drip with excitement. Octavia and finally something in her snapped and she impaled herself on his PP with one motion. She shivered and shook, and Loona watched as some trails of BLD went down Naruto's PP. Loona smirked, seeing the blushing avian demoness, thinking she of how cute versions looked as she moved up and down her lover's PP. She moved over to Octavia, taking her chin her hands, and kissed her deeply, their tongues exploring each other, moths twirling around back and forth as the in pleasure. Loona took hold of Octavia's hand, moving it between her own legs, feeling her soft fur till it reached her wet PP. Taking the hint, Octavia's fingers found their way into the hellhound's nether regions, causing Loona to howl into Octavia's mouth as the trio was entranced in their own forms of pleasure. Naruto's hips moved in an even motion with Octavia's as her pants and grew louder. Naruto, not wanting to dismiss Loona, proceeded to pleasure her holes with two of his tails, one joining Octavia's fingers at it, poked and probed her PP while also rubbing softly over it up and down and in a circular motion while the process was carried out on her peach. Naruto massaged Octavia's BRST, pinching her tips between his fingers, rubbing the tiny tips in between his fingers while Octavia bounced her peach down at a quicker pace. At the same time his tails sped up inside each of the lovers. Naruto groaned as he felt his PP twitch in Octavia's tight PP, feeling their CLMX was coming soon. Give me your juice now. Octavia screeched out. Your wish is my command, princess. Naruto smirked, gripping her peach as he began thirsting hard and faster while Octavia cried out in ecstasy. The two girls loudly as they felt his tails matching his thirsting pace. Ah! Octavia screeched loudly as she arched her back and threw her head back as she finally glimpsed HRD on Naruto's PP. Loona let out a loud wolf howl as she sprayed her own juices over Naruto's tails, reaching her CLMX right alongside her. Naruto let out a roar as he flooded Octavia's insides with his essence. They all rode out their glimpses and Octavia fell forward into Naruto's chest, passing out. Naruto chuckled at this and kissed Octavia on the forehead. Loona couldn't help but smile as Naruto rubbed the younger girl's head. "She's sure got a long way till she can match up with us, huh?" Loona teased. "Yeah, but she will get there now. Assume the position, Loona. I am far from done," Naruto growled as he got up. Loona got down on her hands and knees with her head down to the ground, shaking her peach at him, her tail wagging excitedly. Naruto spread open Loona's peach cheeks, their tails entwining together before he thirsted into her PP next. Loona roared as Naruto began to PND away at her rear with the ferocity of a wild beast. Loona's tongue wagged out as Naruto's hips slapped against her peach as skin slapped against fur, her claws digging deep into the floor that she scratched the surface. Naruto panted hard as he reached forward and pulled on Loona's hair. "Ah!" Loona yelled as Naruto held her hair in his hand as he reached the deepest part of her PP while his other hand tightly gripped her peach. "Prepare your WMB for my juice, my B," Naruto growled out as he smacked her peach hard. "My holes are always prepared, you're my alpha," Loona yelled. "Such a good pet," Naruto growled as he started to move with all his strength, making her peach slap against his waist hard. "But not your only one anymore," Loona grinned looking at Octavia's passed out form. "I hope you teach her well. Otherwise I'll get Verosika too," Naruto smirked, playing on Loona's pride. "She'll be a perfect pet juice dump for you. I'll see to it. Now, play with me, daddy." Loona howled, her mind getting foggy as she felt a high level of pleasure. Naruto's speed kicked into overdrive, making her cheeks ripple like crazy as he pended her PP to oblivion. "Ah! Ah! Oh woo woo!" Loona howled as she clenched hard. "Remind me next time I PND you to record those howls. I need a new ringtone," he smirked as it'd be amusing every time she called him and was reminded of her cries of pleasure. "Juice me please." Loona panted as she whined that Naruto hadn't glimpsed. Naruto grunted deeply as he finally glimpsed hard in her PP. "Such a needy girl," Naruto panted as he kissed the back of her neck with affection. Loona sighed and smiled, loving this side of Naruto. It wasn't common in hell, but affection like this made him truly one of a kind. "Now that you're done with your B, I will require you to get back to training me, darling," Octavia whispered into Naruto's ear, surprising him and Loona. "What the dash? When did you wake up?" he asked as that had genuinely caught him off guard. "When she howled like a bee and heat nice pipes by the way," Octavia said with a smirk at Loona, like her lover liking the sound of the hellhound's calls. "Well, the night is young and we have a lot to teach you, don't we, Loona?" Naruto asked as he slapped Loona's peach, making her MMM. Throughout the night the room was filled with the collective MM of both Loona and Octavia as Naruto pleasured them. Naruto's penthouse. Naruto sighed at the sight of Christmas decorations getting hung up by Hell's denizens. Truthfully, when he was alive, Christmas was one of his most hated times of the years. All the villagers back in Konoha with families to celebrate with while he was alone. It angered him. Just a holiday that reminded him how alone he truly was every single day. He was hopeful that maybe, just maybe, this Christmas would be different. But even if it was, it still didn't erase his scars. "Hey babe, wanna unwrap your presents?" Verosika asked as she and the other girls came out wearing CC Santa outfits. "It's not even Christmas," Naruto muttered, still not looking at them as he stared out the window. He didn't want to ignore his girls, but this time of year really affected him. "Since when do you turn down SEC?" Millie asked, a little concerned. "Yeah, did Via and Loona break you with their STRPR bit?" Verosika asked. "Hang on, girls. I think something is really wrong here," Mayberry said, very concerned for Naruto. This was not normal for him. "Girls, I'm fine, so let's just stay home," Naruto said. "Okay, now I know something's up." Don't you remember we have plans at the hotel for a Christmas party today? Verosika mentioned. Oh right, that, Naruto said in monotone. You're going, Octavia said with a frown. Naruto scoffed at this. Okay, the F is going on. Verosika yelled, as he was never like this since she's known him. This was really weird for her to witness. I'm sorry girls. I really am. Christmas is just not a happy time for me, he sighed. He never actually told them about his life when he was alive much. Figuring since he was in hell it didn't matter. But he supposed even death still left some scars. You had bad experiences with Christmas? Millie asked with a frown. Amongst other things, he mumbled, hoping they didn't hear him. He wasn't normally negative, but he really hated this time of year. Well, a Christmas party will cheer you up, Millie said. Plus you don't want to make Charlie sad, do ya? Loona asked. Naruto paused at this and thought about what might happen if he ditched Charlie's party. DMN it, fine, let's go, he sighed as he headed towards the door. We need to keep an eye on him. Something's really bad if he's like this, Millie said when he was out of earshot. Ugh, this is why I prefer just SEC with no attachments, Verosika griped a little. And you will still help Naruto because you love him, Loona said. True, but don't you dare tell anyone. Especially your dad, Verosika said. Don't truthfully think he'd care, Loona said. Let's just get going before Naruto kicks a choir boy, Verosika said. Oh God, my leg, a voice outside yelled. Too late, Octavia said with a sigh as they all left. Hazbinhotel. Hey, welcome. You guys made it, Charlie said as she opened the door for Naruto and his girls before seeing Naruto's stony face and the girls looking at him with some concern. She was wearing a green sweater and a red Santa hat. Let's get this over with, point me at the bar, Naruto said as he entered the hotel. It's over there, what's going on? Charlie asked as Naruto strode past her to the bar. No idea, Mayberry said with a large frown. Is Alastair here? Millie asked. No, he said his gift to Vaggie is him not showing up. She was quite ecstatic about it, Charlie said as she pointed to Vaggie smiling and cheerful. Good, the last thing we need is him provoking Alpha like this, Loona said. Suddenly Blitzo burst through the window. Who? Let's party. I wanna get 86-foot D, he yelled excitedly. Could have just used the door, Charlie said. It's a party and it's in hell, you're supposed to go nuts, now where's the booze? Blitzo asked. It's over there. Charlie pointed at the bar where Naruto was currently drinking with Husker giving him drink after drink. Hey, save some for me, Naruto. Blitzo yelled as he ran to the bar for some booze. Oh great, I was starting to feel better, Naruto groaned as he took a drink. Oh, what's got you down? Verosika give you HPV? Blitzo asked as he sat down next to him. Blitz, I'm really not in the mood for your BS today. My mind is like thin ice. It won't take much for me to crack. So choose your next words very, very carefully, Naruto said as he downed another drink. Hey, relax buddy, you can talk to me, Blitzo said. Since when do you care? Naruto asked. Hey, I'm your boss, you're with my daughter, and it's Christmas, consider it my gift for me to keep my peach level to level 2 instead of 10, Blitzo said. Naruto chuckled at this, finding this funny. There's a smile now, tell Uncle Blitz what is wrong, Blitz told him. Technically you're more like my father-in-law. But this is honestly not something I want to talk about. Naruto said. Blitzo frowned at this but nodded, okay, but if you want to talk I'm free, I have seen some SHT. And I can already tell, so have you, Blitzo said, actually being sympathetic. Thanks Blitz, Naruto genuinely smiled before going back to his drinking. Okay everyone, it's almost time for Secret Santa. Charlie said with a smile. Ugh, who did you get, Whiskers? Blitzo asked. Vaggie, Naruto said. Pfft. Unless it's your own head, I don't think she will like it, he laughed. Oh, it ain't my head, Naruto muttered. Okay, first up is Naruto getting a gift from me, Charlie said with a smile as she picked up a box. I get a present? Naruto asked in surprise. Well, I'm your secret Santa, so yeah, Charlie said, now really concerned. Sorry, I've just never gotten a present before for Christmas, Naruto admitted. Well, I hope you like what I got you. It took me a while to get it made, Charlie told him. As she had remembered when he was speaking about his abilities, his father had influenced his seals and teleportation ability. She had used some royal family archive magic to pull up an image of him and used that as the base for this gift. Naruto opened the box before his eyes widened. It was a short-sleeved long white trench coat, with the kanji for fire written in red on the back. A coat similar to his own father's when he was the Hokage. Do you like it? She said before gasping as she saw tears appear in Naruto's eyes. It's appealing. Thank you, Charlie. I love it, he said, gazing at the coat. His first ever Christmas gift, and something that was very sentimental to him, and his emotional state made the dam finally got undone. Naruto, what's going on with you? Charlie gently asked. She was really concerned now. He started to say before he was cut off. Whiskers, there's clearly something going on. You may as well tell us. Angel said. He knew something was really eating away at Naruto. Something he felt was similar to when he himself worked for Valentino. That and Charlie's teachings may have worked its way into his head a little. Or it was the Christmas season that was affecting him. One of the two. Naruto sighed at this and looked at Stolas and Octavia. Look, it's a long story, so can you and Vi use some magic to show them my past while I go get my present for my secret Santa? You have my full permission for it, he told them. Stolas nodded at this as he could see something was bothering him a lot, and while he was admittedly curious he wouldn't pry unless necessary. But since Naruto is giving free rein on showing memories, he knew it was serious. Naruto left the room to go get his present. Okay, let's see this, Verosika said, wanting to know what was bothering him. Yeah, I wanna know why Alpha is so sad, Luna said resolutely. I need to know, Millie said as she knew this was important. The group gathered around the two Goichia family members. Stolas opened his grimoire and him and Octavia waved their hand and made an image appear. Of Naruto on the day of his birth when his parents were killed and the nine-tailed fox was sealed into him. And from there they soon learned why he never spoke of when he was alive. Before coming to hell. The distrust, the agony and pain of being alone. True despair. They realized he had seen it all. They felt his emotions. The pain, the anger, the sadness. And they realized why he hated Christmas time. Who's there to celebrate with you when you're hated? They watched everything from his birth to his demise. Where he was saved from being erased from existence thanks to Stolas. Soon the image dissipated. Millie growled as she pulled out a battle axe. Okay, who here wants to make a trip to Naruto's home dimension? She asked fiercely. She was feeling unadulterated rage after that. Get in line. Luna growled, her fur on edge. That village will burn and I will leave nothing but ashes and statues, Octavia said, her eyes glowing red. Stolas, can you bring us to his dimension? Blitzo asked calmly. Too calmly. Probably other dimensions are a gray area, so I don't know if going there breaks any laws, Stolas said calmly as well, keeping his emotions in check for now. Let me know, cause I want to end those F-airs, Blitzo whispered to him. Charlie and Mayberry were crying after seeing Naruto's past. Verosika was growling in anger at what she saw. She admittedly is a terrible person at times, but even she wouldn't have done half the SHT those vile humans did to a child. It infuriated her. These people made hell-based punishing beings seem like F-fairies. Vaggie was angry but conflicted since she admittedly only tolerated Naruto, but seeing what he went through made him seem almost like a kindred spirit of sorts. Angel was just too shocked to say anything as he was flashing back to when he was working for Valentino. The abuse was just hitting him like a freight train over and over again. Now you may be wondering why most of these demons cared, as they were well demons. Sympathy isn't their strong suit. But Naruto managed to befriend them and more. He was family. And while most hated humans as it was, this reinforced their hatred if anything, as they did things to a child some of the foulest demons wouldn't dare do. Naruto soon came back into the room dragging a large box behind him. "Okay, I'm back, whoa." Naruto yelled as Charlie tackled him into a hug. "What they did to you?" And Charlie just broke down more, crying into him. Naruto blinked at this and smiled and patted Charlie on the head. "Hey, it's okay," he said. "No, it's not, I want them all dead." Charlie roared, briefly going demonic before she started crying again. "Hey, it's okay, red cheeks. I just wanted you guys to understand why I was feeling this way. This time of year it all hits me," Naruto said. "Yeah, well, that's over now, you're with us and it's nothing but good times now, Foxy," Verosika said. "I know, and I'm sorry for how I was acting to all of you. I shouldn't let this get to me, but I guess it's just hard," he said. "All is forgiven, my boy. Now, who's your gift for?" Stolas asked. Before Naruto could answer, the box started shaking and yelling could be heard from inside. Naruto scowled and smacked the box. "Zip it as, or I'm taking your vocal cords," he yelled. "You brought someone from Earth?" Millie asked, smelling the box. It's to Vaggie," Luna said, looking at the gift tag. Vaggie paused at this and her eyes widened in surprise. "What?" she asked. "Let's just say Charlie helped me with this. I think you'll enjoy it," he said, much to everyone's confusion. Especially Charlie's, as she wasn't aware of helping with a gift. She and him had only discussed the person who lit the fire for Vaggie's hatred of all men. Vaggie approached the box and ripped off the wrapping paper to reveal a large coffin. Vaggie opened the coffin and saw a bound and gagged elder Hispanic man. One she recognized as the man who abused her when she was alive. The reason she hated all men. The reason she overdosed. Charlie looked at him and her eyes widened in surprise. "You brought her, Dash?" she started to ask Naruto. "Yup, the as that made Vaggie's life on Earth hell now," Naruto said as he handed Vaggie a rusty hatchet. "Do the honors," he said with a smile. Vaggie looked at him in shock before looking at Charlie, knowing she was normally against senseless killing. Charlie smiled and turned around. "I see nothing," she said, knowing Vaggie deserved to do this. Plus she was still angry from witnessing Naruto's past, so this would do some good for everyone. "Hogan," Blitzo said with a German accent. Luna rolled her eyes at this. "Shut it, Schultzo," Luna said as she prepared the camera on her phone, figuring Vaggie would want this recorded to remember it. Vaggie took the hatchet from Naruto and approached the casket. "I'm gonna enjoy this," she growled as her uncovered eye glowed red. "But first, Naruto," she said. Naruto stood at attention as Vaggie yelling at him still scared him a little. "You're okay for a man," she said before lunging at the coffin to eviscerate the man who ruined her life. "Geez, even a serial killer would tell her to calm down," Blitzo said as limbs flew along with BLD. "No, they wouldn't," Angel deadpan, knowing Alaster was one back when he was alive and he'd be goading for more BLD. Soon all that was left was a pool of BLD and gore, and the casket was destroyed. Vaggie was covered in BLD and panting with a large smile on her face. "Whoa, that's hot," Naruto thought to himself. "That was the greatest I've felt in a while." She cheered. "It's about to get better. I set up a seal so when he ends up in hell he will end up right outside the hotel," Naruto told her. "Hey you puta. You may have killed me, but you were still the best if I ever had," a man's voice yelled from outside. Charlie growled as her face went demonic. Naruto growled as he pulled out his holy sword and handed it to Vaggie. "Go nuts," he said. "It'll be my pleasure." Vaggie yelled as she charged outside to tear up the BSTRD. They all heard screams of agony. "You scream like AB." Vaggie yelled out as they heard the squelch of her cutting him. "I like her," Mayberry said as she said the exact same thing to her ex-husband's fling before she tried to kill her. Vaggie soon came back inside covered in more BLD and ash. She smiled. Thanks Naruto, you're upgraded to friend now, she said as she handed him back his holy sword. No problem, he said, knowing she needed this. You so found her killing that guy Cici, Verosika whispered to him. I will neither confirm or deny, Naruto said with a small smirk. Vaggie heard this but said nothing. I definitely found it Cici, Charlie whispered to herself, having also heard the succubus and hellfox whisper. Okay, I'm ready to bring in some Christmas cheer, so let's get shit-faced. Blitzo yelled, holding up 2 whiskey bottles. The others cheered in agreement as they all officially started the party. Hours later. Okay, I'll admit that was a great party, Naruto said with a smile to his girls as he looked at the trashed room with everyone passed out. Husk was buried under empty booze bottles after trying to see if there was any liquor left in each empty bottle. Nifty was sleeping on the chandelier. Upside down. Angel was currently cuddling Blitzo and Stolas. He made a note to photograph that to embarrass Blitzo later. Let's head home babe, you have other presents to unwrap, Verosika said with a flirty look. Hold on, I wanna say goodbye to Charlie and thank her for inviting me, Naruto said as he walked up some stairs. Sure you do, invite them for a fursum sometime, Verosika said cheekily. Naruto rolled his eyes as he looked at some doors and soon saw a door with Charlie's name on it open halfway. He walked up and looked inside and what he saw made him blush intensely. Vaggie was naked and bent over a bed with an equally naked Charlie behind her, thrusting into her peach with a strap on. Ay Dios mío. Ah. Vaggie as Charlie smacked her thick peach hard, making it ripple. Tell me what you are, Vaggie. Charlie growled as if she was a demonic entity of lust. Not a succubus but something beyond that. I'm yours. Mi amor. Vaggie screamed out. DMN right you are. You're my bee for eternity. Charlie roared. I love you. Vaggie screamed as she arched her back and clenched hard. Charlie chuckled at this and leaned forward and kissed her lover. Love you too, she said with a loving smile. Vaggie and smiled at this before she grabbed Charlie and threw her to the bed and ripped off her strap-on. My turn, Vaggie said, licking her lips as she put on the strap-on before thrusting it into Charlie's waiting snatch. Naruto backed up away from the door and tried to compose himself. Holy SHT, that was hot, Naruto thought to himself as he felt really turned on. He walked downstairs and approached his girls. You okay sweetie? Millie asked. Yeah, let's go home, I have some ho-ho-hos to play with, Naruto growled as he smacked Millie's peach hard, making her squeal in excitement. You saw them going at it, didn't you? Verosika smirked. Shut up and get moving, I need my bees now, Naruto growled out. His lovers all shuddered hearing this as they watched him make a clone. You drive. When we're there you get whichever one of them you want to F, he said to the clone as he was gonna start plowing them in the back seat regardless. And he didn't want then to accidentally run over someone while they F. It would get BLD on the car after all. A few days later. Naruto was at the meeting room with the others waiting for a job to come in. Business had been slow. Like really slow. Hell, it was so slow Blitzo asked if Verosika was gonna visit their office. That's how slow it was. At least the barbs they trade are interesting. Okay, I'm gonna watch TV, Loona said, turning on the TV. They all saw what looked like a commercial for heaven and beings from heaven. Something about blessing souls. Something about no money required. It was so horrifying Blitzo shot the TV. Hey! I paid for that. Loona yelled, not happy her portable TV was destroyed. Loona, I paid for it, remember, Naruto said. Yeah, after you F me in Blitz's car you bought it for me, she smirked. You did what in my car? Blitzo yelled. Oh relax, it's not the first time I did it, Naruto said. Yup, he ravished me in there too, Millie said with a smile. He did me on the hood, Mayberry said with her own smile. He F'd me in the driver's seat of it, Verosika smirked at her ex. And I F Octavia in there too. We did it in the trunk. Cramped but KNKY, Naruto said with a smile. Before Blitzo could respond, the wall caved in and what looked like stairs appeared and nearly crushed Verosika if Naruto hadn't pulled her out of the way. "Do not be afraid," a very, very annoying voice said eccentrically. "You nearly crushed one of my girlfriends, Peach. If anyone should be afraid, it's you," Naruto growled. "Yeah, you could have just used the door, dude," Loona said, not impressed by this guy. "I am eccentric and therefore must do eccentric SHT. My name is Loopty Goopty," the man said. "You still could have used the door, dude," Loona said. "Shut up, dear furry, I am here to hire you all to kill someone on Earth for me, seeing as I just died moments ago," Loopday said. "Wow, freshly dead and already looking to get revenge, I like it." "The name is Blitz, the O is silent," Blitzo said as he approached Loopday. "What O?" Loopty asked as he shook hands with Blitzo. "Ah, thanks. Now who do you want us to murder?" Blitzo asked. "I want you to murder my business partner," he exclaimed, overly dramatic. "What he do to PSS you off?" Naruto asked, sounding bored. "He did the unthinkable. You see, I was not always an old man. I was a young man. And we ran our own robotics company. We had invented our greatest invention but a few hours ago. An age-reversing machine. Something that could save all 3 trillionaires from ever dying and make us rich." Loopty said. Naruto paused at this and slowly smirked. "You idiots didn't test it, did you?" he asked. "Yes, we neglected to test our machine on the poor like we usually did. We were too sure of our brilliance." Naruto growled hearing this, but before he could do anything, Blitzo sprayed him with a water bottle. "No attacking the clients. Bad man, where?" Blitzo said as he sprayed Naruto. "What the hell? Is this pee?" Naruto yelled, smelling the liquid that had hit him. "May I finish my tale of woe and betrayal?" Loopty asked. "Let me guess, you morons aged in the machine and he was able to save himself and you just want us to off him for you," Loona said, not looking up from her phone. "Pretty much. He needs to be taken care of before he gets all the money for our research and become the 4th ever trillionaire. Now get your crimson asses up there and kill that no good heartless son of a b," Loopty told them. "Okay, well, you know, Goopty," Blitzo started to say. "Loopty," he growled angrily at Blitzo. Blitzo held up his hands defensively. "Right, Loopty, you know if we off him then you will be stuck with him forever, right?" he asked. Loopty smiled at this and took out some mechanical chainsaws with his robot arms. "Oh, I'm counting on it," he said with mad glee in his voice. "Hey, is there any way you can make more of those robo-arms?" "For reasons?" Verosika asked. "Bad succubus." Blitzo yelled as he took out a rolled-up newspaper and swatted her with it. "Oh, I'll tear off your arm and beat you to death with the wet end." Verosika yelled as Naruto held her back and carried her out. "Meet up later after you get control of your bee," Blitzo yelled after Naruto. Later on Earth. Naruto and the others were on a tour bus and were all in disguises courtesy of Verosika, except for Blitzo, who had to wear a wig and a fake mustache attached to glasses. "I still say I should have a disguise too," Blitzo grumbled. "That's what happens when you run your mouth to my woman," Naruto said. "Oh please, that used-up bag of holes barely counts as a woman," Blitzo spat. "Blitz, I love you like a brother, but please shut up before Naruto guts you," Millie said as she could see that Naruto was one insult away from snapping. Blitzo looked at Naruto before staying silent. Maybe he had crossed a line. "Note to self by Verosika, an apology cake," he said as he wrote on a pad of paper. "Make sure if you do it's big enough for STRPR," Millie whispered to him. Thinking Naruto or a clone hiding in the cake would be a good idea. "We are coming up on his mansion," Loona said. "Wow, that was fast," Millie said as they all looked at the gates to a big mansion. "Alright gang, let's ice this Blitzo said as he leapt over the gate. They all followed after Blitzo and approached a window to look inside. They saw a very, very old man looking depressed at a photo. "Wow, that machine definitely works," Naruto said with a chuckle as the man looked older than even the 3rd Hokage before he died. "Goodbye my one true love," Lyle Lipton, their target, said sadly looking at a photo of money. He was depressed and ready to die. Thanks to this old shitty body I have nothing worth living for, he said. Wow, looks like this will be easy, Millie said. Easiest money we ever made, Loona said watching Lyle tie his IV into a noose to hang himself with. Before Naruto could say anything a portal appeared inside the mansion over Lipton, which caused the windows to shatter from an unseen force and pushed the demon assassins back. What the hell? Naruto said as he looked inside and saw the same three cherubs from that commercial. Oh god FDMN it, he muttered. Blitz, it's those heavenly shitbags from the TV, he said. Good lord, I'm being haunted by floating orphans, Lyle exclaimed. Ha! Good one. Naruto laughed. Weren't you an orphan? Blitzo asked. Naruto said nothing but he stomped on Blitzo's tail. Another note, don't mention Naruto's past, Blitz said as he pulled his tail free. It's alright Blitz, I'll make it up to him for you. I'll just need my new collar and leash, Loona said with a smirk. We are here to help you, Mr. Lipton. My name is Colin and this is Cletus and Keeney. We are here to bless you due to the wishes of those whose lives you've saved with your inventions, the blue sheep cherub said. I hate filthy orphans, he exclaimed. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy killing this guy, Naruto growled out. Mr. Lipton, we're here to show you that life is worth living. No matter what, Cletus said. And that's our cue, Millie said. Blitz jumped through the window, crashing into the room and landing on the floor in a heap. Again there is a door, Loona said as Naruto opened the door and let Millie and her in before him. Mr. Lipton, we believe you should continue with your plan to kill yourself, Millie told him as she entered. And if you can't bring yourself to do it, I'd be happy to assist, Naruto cheerfully said. The cherubs looked at Naruto and the others and looked confused as they looked at Naruto. You from hell? You don't look like any race from there I'm familiar with, Keeney said as she despised demons. So she made sure to familiarize herself with each one. I have been calling myself a hellfox, Naruto said as the disguise faded briefly to show his true form before reapplying. Gotta thank VOICEOVER for teaching me that little trick, he said with a smirk. You're a sinner. How? They can't leave hell? Cletus asked as this was bizarre. What's your name? Colin asked as he took out a big book. The name's Naruto Uzumaki, he said. The three cherubs froze at this information. The higher-ups in heaven have been going nuts trying to figure out why you ended up in hell with that disgusting fox demon, Keeney said with contempt at the mention of the fox demon. What did you just say? Naruto growled. Why won't you let me die? Lipton whined, not paying attention. Naruto growled and with a swing of his tail he bisected the old man in half, killing him. No, the three cherubs yelled. You talk SHT about Kurama again and you're next. Naruto growled, his human disguise falling along with Millie and Loona. Loathsome demons. Your influence has caused a kind and gentle soul to suffer. Keeney yelled angrily. Oh please, he tested on poor people, so don't preach to me B. Millie yelled. I was referring to him, she said pointing at Naruto. This caused Naruto and his friends to pause for a moment before they started to laugh hard. Suffer. Him. Blitzo yelled as he pounded his fist on the floor. Oh yeah, he's definitely suffering, nailing hot women every night, Loona said with a snicker. And he has actual friends, unlike in that shithole village, Millie said with a growl at the mention of Konoha. Despicable. He would never have killed before going to hell. You all corrupted him. If you had stayed away from him he would have been in heaven where he belongs. His soul was meant to be there. But now he's stuck in hell just like his horrid mother. Keeney yelled in fury. The F you say about my mother? Naruto roared. Oh F. Blitz, Loona, and Millie said as they felt Naruto's power unleash. Your mother and father doomed you to hell all because of sealing that vile demon into you. Had they not done that, all three of you would have been in heaven. But now you pay for their idiocy. A mother bound in hell and a father bound to the Reaper. And after all the good you did, you become just another loathsome beast that dead people tread on as they walk, she roared. You don't know anything. Millie yelled as she got in Keeny's face, a battle axe in her hand. Yeah, my alpha is an overlord, so you better watch your mouth. Loona barked, rage in her eyes. An overlord? This just proves that you demons should all be exterminated in one fell swoop. Keeny yelled. Then make a move, B. Millie yelled as she then tackled the cherub. God, I love that woman, Naruto said with a smirk as he cracked his knuckles. She totally pegs you, doesn't she? Blitz asked as he pulled out his gun. Nah, though me and Mama have double-teamed her, Loona said with a grin, knowing that calling Verosika Mama would get under Blitz's skin. Stay alert, we have a fight here. Naruto yelled as he ducked under a light arrow. We better get a bonus for this. Loona yelled as she charged at Colin, intending to tear the sheep cherub apart. Naruto meanwhile ducked under another light arrow before tackling Cletus and grabbing him by his head. He then slammed the cherub through a mahogany table, smashing it to pieces. Millie was spinning her battle axe to block any arrows shot her way from Keeny. Your aim, UCNT. Millie yelled with a grin. Filthy demon. Die already. Keeny yelled as she fired some more arrows at her. Oh, how tolerant of you, Millie quipped as she dove at Keeny to slice her, but she dodged the axe swing. Colin was keeping away from Loona by flying and taking shots at her with his arrows. Hey, leave my baby alone. Blitzo yelled as he fired his machine guns at him. Colin hid behind a pillar to avoid the bullets. When the bullets stopped, Colin sighed in relief before the top of the pillar he was hiding behind was destroyed by Loona's claws. Fresh Maya, Loona growled as she went to bite Colin, who flew away and fast. Suddenly a white portal appeared and started to suck the three cherubs into it. This isn't over, you demonic were. Keeny yelled at Millie before she was sucked into the portal. When we meet again you'll die first. Naruto yelled at her after hearing what she said to Millie. She's mine. Millie yelled out as she swung her battle axe, embedding it into a wall from her anger at being denied the kill. SHT, I was excited to try Heaven Maya, Loona growled. You'll get him next time, Loony, Blitz said, holstering his gun. Well, let's head back, Millie said with a sigh. Shouldn't we loot the old fart's place? I mean, he was rich, Naruto asked. Blitzo paused at this and smiled. Good idea, son-in-law, he said as he ran off to loot. Naruto chuckled at this as he liked this nickname. Alpha, you okay? Loona asked. Yeah, though what that be said makes me wonder if my parents are in hell, Naruto said. Maybe Charlie would know, Millie said. If anyone can tell him if they're in hell and why they didn't see him yet, it's the princess. Yeah, as her fiancé, I bet she would love to help you find them, Loona said with a teasing smirk at Naruto. Oh huh. Still, it's weird that they're not bound to the pride ring like other sinners. Maybe they work for an overlord. I mean, those guys get all kinds of special perks, Millie said. As long as it ain't Valentino, that's fine, Naruto said, knowing that the overlord had many SEC-based businesses and he didn't want his parents working for that FR. He'd rather they work for a laster than him. Come on, let's grab stuff and go before Blitz ends up falling in a solid gold toilet, Loona said. Too late. Blitzo yelled from upstairs. A few days later. Naruto and his girls were all sleeping in their shared bed after a fun romp of SEC when suddenly the phone rang. Naruto groaned as he picked up the phone. What do you want, Blitz? He said into the phone. Hey buddy, I wanted to ask if you and your girls were up for a vacation in Millie's hometown, Blitz said. Naruto blinked. You want us to go to the Wrath Ring? He asked. Yeah, there's a festival there going on and I figured we all worked hard and could use a break. Also Stolas needs his book for it and we have no way topside without it. Blitz said. This that Harvest Moon Festival thing Mills was talking about? Naruto asked. Harvest Moon Festival? Millie asked as she shot up from the bed excitedly. Oh, it's too early for shouting. Loona growled. Yeah, I just got the feeling back in my legs, Mayberry whined. I'd prefer other things a mouth does as a morning wake up, Verosika groaned. Okay, show of hands, who wants to vacation to the Wrath Ring? Naruto asked his girls. Eee. Millie squealed before she ran off to go pack. What's got her so excited? Naruto asked. Babe, she's from the Wrath Ring, Mayberry said. Verosika quirked an eyebrow at this and smirked. Oh really? Meeting the in-laws? I'm in. She yelled. Naruto groaned at this. Cheer up Whiskers, wait till you meet my mother. Verosika teased. Naruto rolled his eyes at this and went back to his phone. Okay Blitz, we are in, when do we leave? He asked. Blitzo then dropped from the ceiling onto the bed. As soon as possible, he said into the phone. Get out of my bed. Octavia screeched at Blitzo, her eyes glowing. This is still the most action I ever had in a bed that Blitzo was in, Verosika quipped. Ha ha ha, we leave in 3 hours, so go pack, Blitzo said as he left. Ha, he usually insults me for that, Verosika said. Well, dating me has benefits, Naruto said with a chuckle. Also Alpha almost killed him the last time he insulted you in front of him. Like straight up slaughter, Loona said. Aw, you of your succubus? Verosika asked teasingly as she pinched Naruto's cheek. I love all my girls, Naruto said simply. Careful Foxy, we're going to Wrath, which means I may do my own bareback riding when we're there, Verosika smirked. Good news, sweetie. My parents said we can bunk with them, Millie yelled as she came into the room with her bags packed. On a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed are they gonna be that I'm with you? He asked. Sweetie, you're an overlord and they respect power and strength, Millie said. Ah, okay, but first time they make a comment about the other girls I swear I'll dash, Naruto was saying. Sweetie, if they say anything about my HRM sisters I get first dibs, Millie said. Out of curiosity, would it be possible to bring your mother in for a THRSM? Verosika asked. Millie looked at Veroskia flatly. She has a good marriage she said. Yeah, no home wrecking, Naruto said as even he had lines he won't cross. Can't blame a girl for asking, Verosika shrugged, not really caring. She was just insatiable really. Okay, let's all get packed, Naruto said. Don't want to get up, Octavia groaned out. If you get up later I'll let you ride me in the car, Naruto whispered to her. Only if you use the shock collar as well, Octavia said. Like I wouldn't spoil my goth beauty, Naruto said with a chuckle. Hope your parents have soundproof rooms, Loona said to Millie. They do not, she responded. Got you covered, Naruto said as he got out a suitcase. Seals? Mayberry asked as she got out her own suitcase. Yup. Naruto said as they all started to get ready to go to the Wrath Ring. Heaven. What do you mean he's an overlord now? A dear cherub yelled at the 3 cherubs who returned from their failed assignment. It's exactly as I said, those disgusting demon spawn corrupted him to the point that he is now a new breed of hell beast. Kini yelled in a rage at the idea of a good soul falling so low. Well, New Year's is coming within a few days, so let's see if this overlord is as strong as he seems to think he is, the dear cherub said with a smug look, thinking they'd be able to kill him. The cherubs clearly did not understand the power Naruto possessed even as he was now. He was a threat to the afterlife as a whole. Wrath Ring, Town Hall, Mayor's Office. Minato sighed as he brought documents to Kushina to be signed. Back when they were alive he was Hokage and she was technically his underling. In hell, however, she was the mayor of the Wrath Ring going on almost a year now. And he was her secretary, would be the best term he supposed. He just knew she loved being his boss now in death. She always smugly grinned at him whenever he brought her coffee or papers to look over. Though she didn't do it out of hate or spite, since they were still married and happy even in death. Apparently hell still held weddings. Though they were usually satanic affairs, or if you were a part of Tholu's hell cult, a weird tentacled affair. Though that wasn't the weird part about life in hell. Around a year ago both Minato and Kushina turned into what looked like hellhounds, but with kitsune features, with Minato having yellow fur and Kushina red. They were also able to leave the pride ring due to this for some reason. They never did learn why, and they were absolutely sure the overlord they worked for knew and wouldn't tell them. "Here are your papers," Minato said as he handed a stack of papers to Kushina. "Thanks honey, you get that radio PP head to tell you what he knows?" Kushina asked as she took the papers from Minato. "No, but he said we should watch this one channel on TV religiously for a hint," Minato said. "He's telling us to watch TV. He hates TV," Kushina said as she knew he hated TV and the TV overlord Vox with a passion. "Yeah, I said the same thing, but he said if it gets you off his back it's worth it," Minato said with a chuckle. "Memo to me, maim him next time I see him," Kushina muttered. "Yeah, he said he isn't taking meetings with you anymore," Minato said. "What's got him so busy that he can't take a meeting?" Kushina asked. "I heard he's helping the Princess of Hell with something," Minato said. Whoa, wait, what? Back up, he's helping someone else?" Kushina asked in utter shock. "He said it's for entertainment purposes, though he said some peach hurt him in a fight recently," Minato said. "Ha, I wanna meet whoever beat him then," Kushina smirked. Suddenly they heard the office door open and a little kitsune girl with red fur ran in. "Mama! Dada!" the child cheered. "Isn't Uncle Moxie supposed to be watching you?" Kushina asked her daughter with a smile. "Shot foot," the girl giggled. "Now Himinari, you know we don't hurt allies," Minato said with a smile, "unless it's your mother hurting them." "Auntie Sally May said he will be fine," Himinari said with a smile referring to Moxie's wife. "Yeah, Moxie can handle a lot if he's married into that family," Minato said with a nod. "Well, let's watch this channel and see if we can see whatever that radio idiot wants us to see," Kushina said with a sigh. Himinari made a raspberry sound at this, knowing who her mother was referring to. "That's my girl," Minato said with a smile as he turned on the TV that was on Kushina's desk. Suddenly a commercial played. "Hi, there. I'm Blitzo. The O is silent, and I'm the founder of IMP. Blitz said, holding up his hand showing the company logo. "Are you a piece of SHT that got yourself sent to hell, or are you an innocent soul who got F over by someone else?" Blitzo asked. "After lovingly killing my wife for FA Deliverman, you can imagine my surprise when I wound up here, after the state of Ohio killed me. I really wish I could stick it to that yappy jogger who saw me hiding the body," a muscular demon shouted at Blitzo, who was holding up a cardboard sign that read, "Some guy who hired us." "Well, luckily for you, thanks to our company's special access to the living world," Blitzo said, opening a portal with Naruto, Loona, and Millie next to him with the three jumping in. "We can help you take care of your unfinished business by taking out anyone who screwed you over when you were alive." Blitzo cheered, free falling into the portal. "When you want somebody gone, and you don't want to wait too long, call the immediate murder professionals." A human is walking by when a bloody corpse fell from the sky, then looked up to see Blitzo, Millie, Naruto, and Loona, the Demoness and Hellhound, wrapping their arms around Naruto's neck while Blitzo smirked devilishly, holding out his arms. "Hand grenade or cyanide? We'll make it look like suicide. The immediate murder professionals." Naruto stuffs grenade in a man's mouth while Loona kicks him out the window, Millie busting out a chainsaws dismembering the body, Naruto dressed as waiter slips a pill into a rich man's wine, causing him to slide out foaming at the mouth before falling to the ground. Blitzo electrocutes a demon, Millie smashes another's head in with a claymore, Naruto nails someone in the head with a kunai, Loona licks BLD from her claws. "We do our job so well. Because we come straight up from hell. We'll kill your husband or your wife. We'll even let you keep the knife." The group runs through a portal. They all smirk but soon see they are in a church. Naruto and Loona watch as Millie tries pulling a knife out, cheating Naked couple, while Blitzo holds up some panties. Blitzo stabs into a victim's head with crazed red eyes and his tongue sticking out the side. Naruto and Loona lie naked under the moonlight as a mansion burns down in flames. Millie holds a woman over a hungry shark, Blitzo drops down an anvil onto a man, the IMP gang runs a man over with a train. Naruto and Millie make out as a man is burned alive in acid. Blitzo plays the piano while Naruto dances alongside Millie and Loona. We're the immediate murder professionals. A closing shot of all four with weapons drawn grinning maliciously at the camera. Kids die for free. Kushina and Minato looked at the TV with shocked and bewildered looks as they looked at the Hellfox in the commercial. My baby is an assassin. In hell. And he didn't even call us. Kushina yelled out. Why is he in hell? Minato asked surprised. Kids die for free. Himinari sang as she clapped her hands happily. The two parents just stared shocked at the TV still processing everything. I'm kicking Alastair in the PP next time I see him, Kushina said as the two parents knew they needed to meet with their son soon. Well, we will have time off after the Harvest Moon Festival, Minato said. Good, we can head straight for the Pride Ring and find Naruto then, Kushina said as a company that relies on sinners making contracts would be in the Pride Ring. Can we visit Auntie Lin and Uncle Joe? Himinari asked cutely. Well, I'm off in 5 minutes so of course sweetie, Kushina said with a smile. I heard their daughter Millie is gonna visit for the festival, Minato said. Ooh, I've been wanting to meet her, Kushina said as she didn't know it was Millie in the commercial. Yeah, I heard she's bringing her boyfriend to meet Lin and Joe, Minato said. Ha, that'll be fun to see. Hope he's tough, Kushina said as those two respected power and strength. Yeah, they barely tolerate Moxie with Sally Mae, Minato said with a chuckle. Yeah, I still laugh at the memory of her going nuts on them for bullying him, Kushina said pointing at a picture of Sally Mae with a hatchet yelling at her parents with Moxie holding her back. That was a weird Thanksgiving, Minato chuckled, too bad Millie couldn't come that year, he mused. We'll finally get to meet her so let's go. Kushina said excitedly as they grabbed their daughter and left. The road to Wrath. Okay, next time we take one of my cars, Naruto groaned from the back seat of Blitzo's van. Yeah, I assumed you had the air conditioning fixed. In this piece of SHT, Loona said to Blitzo who was driving. I would have if I didn't have to keep finding juices and panties inside it every time I try to fix it, Blitzo shouted back. He's got us there sweetie, Millie said with a sheepish grin at Naruto. It also doesn't help I was just stuffing some of our panties in there to PSS him off, Verosika shrugged. Well, consider this payback man where, Blitzo said looking at Naruto through the mirror. Noted, Naruto groaned as he wiped his head. So what do your parents do, Millie? Mayberry asked Millie. They run a farm, Millie said with a smile at the thought of her childhood home. Oh goody, we're out in the boonies of Wrath aren't we? Verosika muttered. Be nice babe, the country has a charm to it, Naruto said. Oh yeah, look at all this charm of dust. And sand, Blitzo said, agreeing with Verosika on this instance. No sightseeing, no bars for miles, just hell cacti and hell lizards. Oh quit your BING. Naruto said with a sigh. Are we there yet? I wanna see Millie's parents react to her being part of a HRM, Octavia said as she looked at her phone. We'll get there when we get there. But who knows how long it will take to get there. Wrath is mostly desert, Blitzo said. It's right there, Loona said pointing her finger at a hell ranch. Satan DMN it, Blitzo sighed as he pulled up to the ranch. The van pulled up as two older imps, one male and one female, came out of the farmhouse to greet them. Okay, everyone out. Blitzo yelled as he kicked everyone out of his van. That includes you two Stolas, he said looking at the bird demon that was between his legs. Very well. I need to check in with the new mayor of the Wrath Ring, but I hope to see you later, Blitzy, Stola said as he pinched Blitzo's cheek before he got out of the car. Did you two really have to do these things in the same car as me? Octavia asked a little disturbed. I needed to get the stink of ramen and shame out of my van, Blitzo said with a pointed look at Naruto. Hey, that's offensive. I am not ashamed of nailing my girls in your van, Naruto said. I don't know whether to kick you or pat you on the back for that. I'm actually kind of proud of that response. It was almost like something I'd say, Blitzo said with slight praise. Well, you are my future-in-law, Naruto said as he smacked Luna's peach, making her in surprise. Get the other cheek, she goaded with a smirk. Before Naruto could respond, Millie grabbed Naruto and dragged him towards her parents. Ma. Pa. So good to see you too. It's been ages. She greeted them excitedly. Millie, so good to see you. Her mother greeted. So this is him? Her father asked, gazing at Naruto with a critical eye. Yep, this is my man. Overlord Naruto Uzumaki, Millie said with a smile as she hugged Naruto's arm. She figured she should just use his official title to get it out of the way. Her parents' eyes widened at that. They had heard whispers of a new overlord. All the rings had, and they knew his first name was Naruto, but they didn't know their daughter was dating him, nor did they know his last name. A last name they were very familiar with. Did you just say Uzumaki? Lin, her mother asked. Yes, why? Naruto asked curiously. Our mayor for the last year has that as part of their last name, Joe, her father said. Naruto raised an eyebrow at this. Probably a relative of mine, he said with a shrug, as he knew this hell was connected to his dimension and this Uzumaki was probably an old relative and nobody he knew. Well, anyway. So you're an overlord? Lin asked. Yeah, I got into a fight with this radio JRK and attacked this other guy's army, and next thing I know the king of hell made me an overlord, he said nonchalantly. You faced Alaster. Lin shouted. Welcome to the family. Joe said, as he knew he could respect that kind of power and strength. Millie, marry this man, he told her. That's the plan, Daddy, along with my sister wives, Millie said with a smile. Sister wives? The two asked. Before the two turned to each other and laughed. You must be strong if you got multiple ladies' attention. Joe smirked. You tell them you're engaged to Charlie yet? Verosika yelled as her and the other girls approached. No, but you just did, Naruto said, sighing, hoping to ease them to that one. Wait, Charlie as in? Lin asked with her eyes widening. Charlotte Magna. Princess of Hell. Yes, yes, Octavia said nonchalantly, wanting to speed this along. Lin and Joe looked at Octavia in surprise. Are you related to Prince Stolas? Joe asked, as the resemblance was uncanny, but he didn't want to assume. Also, he was still getting hit with bombshell after bombshell. Yup, she's his daughter and the newest sister wife, Millie said with a smile as she pulled Octavia into a hug and smiled. Joe and Lin immediately bowed to Naruto. Forgive us, Prince, for any insolence we may have shown to you or your women, they said. Okay, stop. That won't be necessary, we are future family, right? Naruto asked. The two immediately jumped back up to their feet. Oh, thank Satan, you're not gonna vaporize us. Lin said, as if he was engaged to Charlie he had to be insanely powerful. Beyond anyone in the town. Yeah, Alpha isn't one to show off unless it's to us or to send a message to his enemies, Loona said. I respect it, Joe said with a nod. Before they could continue they heard a voice shout. Hey Lin, Joe. Himinari wanted to see you too, and we wanted to meet your daughter as well as see you rip apart her boy toy, a female voice shouted behind them. Ah, that's Mayor Kushina and her family, Lin said with a smile. Naruto and his girls froze at the name. Ma, did you just say Kushina? Millie asked as she looked at Naruto's frozen, shocked state. Yeah, she arrived here a year ago and ran for mayor. She's been giving all the overlords headaches trying to help imps get more respect, Joe said with a smile. Hey, where's the boy toy? I wanted to see you tear him apart and possibly help you bury the body, Kushina said as she walked up to them with Minato and Himawari close behind. Great, more hellfoxes, Blitzo said with a sigh at seeing the new arrivals. More hellfoxes? Minato asked before he saw Naruto and his 9 tails, Kushina? Minato said in shock at seeing Naruto. Naruto turned to them and before he could react Kushina tackled him into a hug. Mom, he stuttered out, not expecting to see her. Mom. Joe and Lin yelled together in shock as they watched Kushina hug Naruto tightly. You're in hell. And you didn't even call us. Kushina said sadly. Well, I thought you were in heaven, Naruto said. Son, we were ninjas. Do you know how many people we killed? Minato deadpanned. Before Naruto could respond, he felt a tug on his pants, and when he looked down he saw Himinari looking up at him. Hi big bro, the little fox girl said with a bright grin. Naruto did the only thing he could in this scenario. He fainted in shock from the bombardment of emotions. Well, he lasted longer than I thought he would, Blitzo said as he ate some popcorn. I'll take him to a bed, Millie said. Actually, I recommend bringing him to the barn, seeing as you've got your HRM sisters for him with you. Plenty of room there. Joe said. HRM? Kushina asked curiously. Long story short. We're part of your son's HRM, he's an overlord, and he's engaged to the princess of hell, VOICEOVER said. Interesting group of lovers he chose, Minato said, looking at the girls with interest. Before I judge each and every one of you, I will say you look very familiar to me, Kushina said, pointing to VOICEOVER. Well, I am famous, VOICEOVER said, tossing her hair back. Famous for what? Kushina asked. Well, there's being aware, Octavia said flatly. Hey! I only F Naruto now. VOICEOVER yelled at Octavia. Oh, I like you. You're blunt and honest. I'm so proud, Kushina said. A hellhound, an imp, a sinner who can leave the pride ring, a succubus, and, Minato said, stopping at Octavia, you're Prince Stola's daughter, aren't you? He stated rather than asked. Oh yeah, I have to meet up with that loon, Kushina said as she figured she should get that over with. Call us when he wakes up. We'll speak with him after I meet with Stolas. In the meantime, don't do anything I wouldn't do, girls, Kushina told them. Nice to meet you, Alpha's mom, Loona said with a meek wave. Kushina laughed at this. Alpha. I like you, she said. As Minato, Kushina, and Himinari left to meet Stolas, Kushina turned to Minato as they were far enough away. That succubus really seemed familiar to me. What about you? She asked her husband. Yeah, she did, but I can't place how she's familiar, Minato said. I'm sure it will come to us later, Kushina sighed as it was bugging her, but she had other matters to attend to. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 4. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.